Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 7 and the first session of the day. We're going to have Chris Clark commentating, hopefully on Lawn 1, which will be Ahmed Nasser and Robert Fulford. But we're a little concerned that the start time is now going to be 10 o'clock. I'll be back shortly to let you know. Hi everyone, just to update you, it's definitely a 9:30 start. They've just not started yet. So the camera will just show you a little bit of croquet this morning and enjoy the sunshine. Okay, we're almost ready. The players are starting their warm-up and I'm going to hand you over to Chris Clark. Sorry, we might have more audio issues. One moment.
One, two, three. Great. Sounds like we've got. Oh, but is it on?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Okay, we've got our audio sorted out at last. So welcome to Southwick, quarter-final day of the main event. And first of all, mentioning the weather, we've got clear blue sky. So we should get some nice temperatures later on. Potentially more important than the clear blue sky is the wind, which is significantly stronger than yesterday, probably about where it was a few days ago, but it's in a different direction. So the protection that lawns 1, 2 and 3 were getting from the railway embankment isn't as effective, and the players will definitely be feeling a little bit of breeze. And the reason I'm mentioning that is our key commentary match this morning on lawn 1 is between Akbid Naz from Egypt and Robert Fulford from England. I think anyone who's been listening to the tournament so far knows Robert doesn't like the wind. And where other people might say it's still, Robert says it's a partial gale. So he's not going to be happy with what he's facing. As normal, he's done his weather forecast check and he's telling me as the day goes on, the wind's going to die down. And if he can make it through the first game, he's sort of comfortable. He's going to be in a nice environment to let his swing not be affected by the wind. So the two players are warming up at the moment, both of them using Irish grips, but completely different mallets. Ahmed has a standard Egyptian 9-inch mallet, very light head. He generates his power with mallet head speed, whipping through the ball. Robert, on the other hand, has a very measured swing, a much slower pace swing, and a heavier mallet. And if you're watching him now, you can see that Irish grip. His mallet's actually bent back towards him over those last 9 or 10 inches, and that's just to help allow his wrists to do their job without too much jarring. Robert started playing in about 1985, 5-time Association World Championship, and I believe this is the furthest he's ever got in the Golf Croquet Worlds. So if he wins today, he'll have his first Golf Croquet WCF medal. Ahmed, on the other hand, vastly experienced, has won 2 GC World Championships. I'm just trying to think back where. I think the first one he won was here at Southwick, and the second one he won was in Cape Town. Complete difference in style of play. We're going to see Robert being very positional, focusing on mid-paced 7 or 8 yard clearances, and we're going to see Ahmed trying to do power clearances, and Ahmed will be looking for a fast game where there's only 4 or 5 shots between each hoop, and Robert will be very happy if it turns into a more of a tactical positional battle and mid-pace clearing. When Ahmed gets a 7 or 8 yarder, you'll almost always see power, and when Robert gets 7 or 8 yarder, you'll usually see mid-pace clearing. I think the key difference to this match is going to be consistency. If you look at the 2 players, without going into too much detail, the immediate feeling is Ahmed Nazi's stronger because he plays a lot more flashy shots. I believe Robert has a slight, probably 55-45 edge in this match, simply because he's consistent. You may have seen Ahmed in his warm-up already take on a hoop from 3 yards and hit the outside of the wire. Robert's much less likely to play a shot that poor. Equally, when it comes to clearing, Ahmed's probably going to find himself 12-15 yards away after being cleared, and Robert's going to find himself 20-25 yards away after being cleared. So those 2 clearly different abilities, different strengths. When Ahmed reduces his power, so if he tries to jaws a ball from an angle, he's much less consistent in accuracy. And when he tries to run a 2 yard straight hoop, he won't feel confident about running it with the right pace to the next hoop, and he'll basically just club it off the lawn most of the time. Robert will be trying to run the odd hoops by the right distance down to the even hoops, and again that will be another aspect of an advantage to Robert. At some stage, I expect Ahmed to produce a purple patch, and Rob will look as if he's getting monstered, and he may lose 6 out of 7 hoops at some stage in a game. But I think over this best of 5 match, Robert's more consistent ability level. He's an AC player. Remember, consistency at AC is one of the absolute keys. And I think that consistency over a 5-game match is probably just about enough to get him over the line. But he's going to have to weather some seriously strong play at some point in the match. Now, I think I mentioned Ahmed's power. One of the things that is always underestimated when watching Ahmed is how good his positional play is. And whilst I don't think it will be quite as good as Robert's, I think it will still be very strong. And Robert took the same sort of hoop shot on at hoop 12 in his practice as Ahmed has, and Ahmed bounced off on the edge of the left-hand wire, and Robert's run it. And it's this hoop running that's going to be the major differentiator. I think Robert's going to run shorter hoops on average, and Ahmed is going to be forced to run slightly longer ones. So the players probably coming to the end. Best of 5, yeah, best of 5. All these quarterfinals are best of 5 today. And the warm-up sort of coming towards an end. We got 4 great matches today, to be perfectly honest. I'll try and keep you updated on the progress of the other 3 throughout the morning. And lawns haven't been particularly quick this week. The sand has taken a little bit of pace off them. Overall, I would estimate them at about 11 seconds. This lawn that we're going to focus on today, lawn 1, is quite multi-paced. So south of hoop 5 is slow, and that's mainly due to the shading it gets from the trees on the embankment. And then up by hoop 3 in particular, we've got quite a quick area. I should probably mention there's a general slope on lawn 1, and it moves towards the clubhouse. So if you're taking position from 25 yards away, you're probably going to be allowing about a ball to a ball and a half of slope towards the clubhouse. And when you're playing north from 1 to 2 and from 9 to 10, there's been a tendency to overhit those shots as you move towards the faster end. And when you've been taking position from 7 to 8 and 3 to 4, there's been a tendency to underhit those shots as you're moving to the more grassy, slower areas. So the players won't take long to get the hang of that. I think they've both played matches on lawn 1 already this tournament. And of course, Robert played his final of the Open Championship against Reg just about 6 weeks ago on this lawn. And he said it took him a game to get the hang of that during that final. So they're just finishing up their practice, and one of the things I want to draw your attention to is what Robert's doing. When you've got a practice before a match, I always coach everyone that I deal with in the last sort of minute or 2 minutes of your practice, you want to be taking position at hoop 1 from corner 4. Because whilst you know that anything could happen during the match, the one thing you do know is that imminently, at the start of the match, you're going to be trying to put a ball in front of hoop 1. So that's the last mental image and last physical thing I want you to have done in your practice session. That's the sort of lasting memory I want you to hold, because you know that's what's going to happen. I've been mentioning the other matches. Lots of them are still warming up. So on lawn 2, we've got Reg Bamford against Richard Bilton. Richard's had an excellent tournament after quite a disappointing, probably 12 months of play. He had a great Worlds last year in 2019 and clearly likes this match play format. So Richard, probably the lowest ranked of the 8 remaining players in the quarterfinals. Behind me on lawn 6, we've got Mohammed Naz against Robert Fletcher. Robert Fletcher played extremely well to beat JP Mobley yesterday, and they've already started. And I believe Robert is 2-0 up in the first game, playing black and blue. So he's used that advantage of winning the toss to take an early lead. And the other match is way over to my left on lawn 4. And that's between Mo Karem and Matthew Essick. Mo looked awesome at stages yesterday, and Matthew's been very strong all event, and Matthew's just failed hoop 1 early in the first game. Overall, I know people are quite split here. There's a camp who say, well, Mo was just awesome for like 6 hoops and a game yesterday and looked really unplayable. just pausing there for Jack Good behind me, playing a shot in his bowl match. And the other camp are the camp that I'm currently in, and I'm saying for the last 2 days, Reg has been fantastic. And I think when Reg plays well, his consistency level is just higher than any other player. I think Mo's fantastic, don't get me wrong, but the last 2 days, Reg's performance, having probably played 20 days of croquet this year where he's been underperforming, he's eventually found his true level of form, and I know he's happy with how he's playing. So they're the 2 favourites. And I'll try and keep you updated on all 4 of those matches. Should be coming to the end of this practice session. The players all get 10 minutes, and I know the match on Lawn 1 started their practice much later than certainly Mohammed and Robert, who are already contesting Hoop 3 on Lawn 6. On the other lawns, we've got the bowl. And the bowl's a competition for the people who got knocked out in the first round of the knockout. And we'll also have the shield for people who've lost in the second round of the knockout. So Mohammed's just failed a hampered attempt at Hoop 3. And Robert is now attempting a 3-yard jump shot over that ball for a 3-0 lead. Very handy lead in the first game. So I thought he played very strongly yesterday against JP, and yeah, he's just played a nice little hop and run Hoop 3 down to about 7 yards in front of Hoop 4. So a 3-0 lead there for the Australian. Fantastic to see Robert take the effort to come all the way over for this event. Didn't have a huge number of Australians and New Zealanders play, but it's great to see that we did have representation from both countries. So, the toss has been done on Lawn 1. And it looks like Ahmed has won the toss and will play black and blue. So, we're off. Robert yesterday taking quite a long time. It must have been 3.5, 4 hours to beat Mustafa Nazar in 3, and Ahmed a more comfortable, quicker win. I think I mentioned Robert will be hoping that these hoops extend into mid-pace 7-yard clearing battles, and Ahmed will be hoping it's all very crunchy and power orientated and he can produce a quick win. So fascinating difference in styles. Ahmed's got position at 1, but it's not straightforward. Robert's played in, and the one thing you want to do there is make sure you're not short of blue, because if black plays into better position than blue and you're short, blue can then smash red back to corner 4, or in this case Ahmed will even have the choice of just snuggling up to red and giving it no shot whatsoever because red's finished so close to it. So not a very good red. And can Ahmed improve on the blue? Perfect. So I don't think, if Robert shoots at blue and misses, I don't think Ahmed's going to take the hoop on with blue. I think he's either smash red away or snuggle up to it. And Ahmed is a smasher more than a snuggler, but he is quite close to this red ball, so I'd be snuggling every time. So Robert's got 2 choices. Standard plays clear the blue, because that's the ball that's next to play. But he could go, actually, I fancy forcing Ahmed to run that, and black's really good, so I'm going to shoot at the black ball and clear that. Let blue have its attempt at the hoop, and put him under pressure straight away from stroke 1. So 2 completely legitimate choices. It was noticeable yesterday the difference between the pace of play of Mustafa Nazar, who was a very fluent, fast player, and Robert, who was probably taking 3 times longer over his strokes. Generally, if you take over a minute on your shot, that's regarded as unacceptable. And Robert was probably pushing the sort of 45, 50 seconds for quite a lot of his shots. And today, with this breeze, I think you may find he's going to restalk the odd shot. So yellow's missed blue. And is it a snuggle? Or is it a cut to corner 4? And he's played the shot I would play, and he's played it really well. I think that's not only block tread, but I think they're finished not in contact. If they're in contact, Rob as a croquet player, an AC croquet player, will have a chance of moving both the blue and the black balls in the shot. But I think they're millimetres apart, and he's probably got no shot whatsoever. So he's looking at playing a very fine cut, which probably would be clean because you're hitting so little of blue that the red ball would have escaped before a potential double tap. And he's seeing, can I potentially clear the blue onto black, or is he just playing away? No, that's just playing. Oh no, he's tried to play quite a clever shot at a gentle pace, trying to move the blue to stop on the black. Unbelievably difficult to get it absolutely dead weight with that fine cut. Probably overhit it by a ball and a half, and Ahmed has now got a fairly straightforward hoop to go 1-0 up. I don't think we'll see any attempt to get in front of hoop 2. I think we're going to see power, and this black ball, if it runs the hoop, finish on the north boundary. No, that was his gentle one. That was a genuine attempt to get up to hoop 2. So out of sort of character, I mentioned earlier that when he takes power off his shots, he's much less accurate. And now Robert needs to clear black. It's not necessary to clear it miles away, because even if he clears it 7 or 8 yards, black can only clear red back towards the short boundary. Ah. So I thought he might be prepared to let blue have its hoop again there. The other possibility is black's finished in such a position that red fancies its in off and actually wants this shot as a genuine attempt to make the hoop. No, that's not that. So we're into this sort of mid-pace clearing battle. Ahmed will play, I believe, about 2 feet past the blue, attempting to block yellow at blue, but making sure that black stays in hoop running position. So he's underhit that. I think he tried to put it down that line. You'd always try to be blocking and on the opposite side of the hoop to red. Rob's in the sort of position you don't want to be. Because of his mid-pace clearances, balls stay on the lawn. And here, when yellow hits the blue, unless it cuts it on the left-hand side, which he has done, and he'll have deliberately aimed to do that, any central clearance on the blue there would have given Ahmed a very easy 4-yard clearance on red back towards corner 4. And it's these positions that Rob's going to find himself in today because of his mid-pace clearing and leaving balls on the lawn, that when he's got some 6 and 7 yarders, he's going to end up having to hit them quarter ball to move them to positions where they're not actually able to be clearing his own ball, and that's going to put his game under stress. All well and good playing a 7-yard clearing game, but if you're having to hit them on the correct side all the time, it's almost like having to hit an 11-yarder. So Robert trying to take blocking position. I think the vast majority of players there would have tried to have cleared black quarter ball on the right, taken the south boundary for yourself, and moved black towards the offside marker where it's very difficult to run the hoop. But here Robert's decided his best chance to get in the hoop is to try and play that block, which he's overhit. And that, you see, that's Ahmed back to his comfort level. He's just smashed that one. And he's far more accurate with that level of power. Hopefully later on during the match we'll be able to get a good camera angle of Ahmed's technique, where he aims quite a long way away from his target. So 1-0 to Ahmed, and Robert with yellow not just trying to take position at hoop 2, but trying to get a position where black can't clear it. Just checking whether blue can get up to the hoop, or is red in play. But yellow wants to be wired from black. The concept behind running these odd hoops off the boundary isn't simply because he's better at it than gently. It's because when Robert takes position with yellow, and blue and red then play up, Ahmed just fancies smashing yellow back to the south boundary. So yellow's short there, and it's open on black, and black's got about a 12-yarder. Back at yellow to the south boundary, and providing Ahmed can take position inside yellow and give himself a fairly straightforward hoop 2, Ahmed's going to be very happy with this position. Yep. This looks good. Now that is very good. Not only is it in easy hoop running position, were black to miss yellow, Robert's going to be in two minds about, is he going to take a 3.5-yard hoop on with yellow, or is he going to clear the blue? So Robert needs to try and get red in good hoop running position. Could have tried to block black at yellow, that was quite difficult, and he's got second prize, and he's managed to hamper blue at the hoop. So that's a very good red, and because blue now hasn't got an easy hoop shot, Ahmed's just going to play it. If red had just been somewhere random, I think we'd have seen the power play, black at yellow hard, but because blue can't run the hoop, he's saying, okay Rob, off you go. You go and try and run that hoop. And were yellow to fail, I think blue would clear red to the south boundary. Robert, I think he's considering centre balling the red onto the blue to try and clear the blue and leave red in position. But this is an open hoop. Normally you would just take the hoop shot. So this will be a stop shot clearance, leaving blue in hoop running position, moving red. He might be able to get it all the way off the lawn. I'm guessing there's about 5 inches between the two balls, so didn't quite feel comfortable hitting it hard enough to move it all the way off the lawn, and he's prioritised making sure blue is in front. In an ideal world he would have moved it fractionally off centre to avoid giving red a double target on blue and the hoop. I think if Rob has that double target, he'll take it. Otherwise, red will just play into position because yellow is capable of clearing. If he can get wired from black behind the blue, it would have forced Ahmed to take the hoop on. Now Ahmed can play gently into the blue, nudging it wide from the yellow. I've been joined by Chris Roberts.
Good morning, everyone.
Fascinating match. I've been saying it's a power play from Ahmed and a positional mid-pace clearance battle from Rob, and they'll both be trying to have that as their primary aim in the match.
Yes, it's turn it into their own advantage. Similar in a way to slightly more exaggerated case in the British Open final, with Rob not doing great big clearances in the same way as Reg was relying on.
Yeah, the difference
this is a more exaggerated case of the same thing, I think.
it is. The reason is Reg is actually quite good at mid-pace clearances himself,
Yes.
whereas Ahmed has a weakness there.
He's asking us to move now, so excuse us, we're right in his firing line.
Open see. So just going back over that play, Ahmed played the promotion on partner, trying to get it wide, underhit it by probably a ball, and left it open to Rob, who played that clearance to distance. Much better from Rob there. So 1-1. Players not using clips for these matches because we've got the big scoreboard that hopefully you can see in the far distance, and that's clearly showing 1-1. Ahmed will be disappointed with that approach to 3. Opted to go remarkably close, don't you think, Chris?
Yeah, it's an interesting, a strange line there as he's taken, fallen a bit short.
Yeah, I mean that's probably tighter than even I would have tried to get,
Yeah.
and I'd probably take tightest position of most of these top guys. Ahmed, you normally think would take 2 yards position.
He'd be confident from there, wouldn't he? You'd think. So
Yeah.
whether that was an intentional or just a poor stroke, I don't know.
And 2 choices here.
Yeah.
Rob can either take deep position straight, or he can take the short boundary side.
Yes, either way. And I think this is probably the difference, isn't it? That for viewers, was quite conscious. A lot of viewers maybe are club players, and the temptation here is to put the ball right in front of the hoop. Well, even at that short range, most club players would clear, but you really that's a bit short from Rob, I think, isn't it? That's a bit in no man's. That's about where I was saying don't put it.
Yeah.
It's allowing Ahmed to boss this hoop.
Yeah, so yellow would have been trying to get about 2 yards further there.
I think so.
And what we saw at hoop 1 was Ahmed eventually get good position and play a very nice snuggle up to Robert's ball. I think it's worth mentioning to the viewers that that shot is much easier in the southern half of the lawn.
You better explain that, Chris. Why in the southern half here?
Well, I hope it's possible to see from the camera. Nice promotion there from Rob. That's got both his balls in front, been forcing black to clear. But red's finished the wrong side of blue. The southern half of the lawn, or the southern quarter maybe, is verdant green with heavy density grass.
Oh, I see it on this particular court.
Absolutely.
I misunderstood. I thought it was,
Yeah. Whereas particularly at hoop 3 is much browner.
it's lightning fast. Yeah.
And snuggling from 2 yards away at hoop 1 is, I think, very easy.
Very tricky.
And up here, you can just get a little bit of hill, and it's much faster. So that's much more difficult to stroke.
Right, I'm getting waved at, so rather earlier than expected, I've got a plate game.
Oh,
To
okay.
play my club colleague Helena Fensom. So I'll be back a little bit later on.
Okay, look
So
forward to seeing you then.
flying visit from me.
So yeah, I don't like what Rob's managed to achieve here. I think it looks a bit weak. Didn't really take full advantage of that poor positional shot from Ahmed, and Ahmed's, you know, left him an angled hoop, and the players in general have been struggling with these. I think maybe Reg, Mo, Robert Fletcher have been making them look reasonably easy, but that type of a result from Rob has been fairly common. And what Ahmed has said is, no, I'm happy in this early stage of the match to give you that angled hoop with my black sat 2 foot back straight with an easy jump shot should you miss it. And Rob's now going to have to try and hit that black ball from the west boundary. And ideally, he wants to hit it on the right hand side. If he hits it on the left, black will probably just clear yellow all the way back over to the west boundary again. But hitting it anywhere is probably better than anything. At least that would force blue to run the hoop. So now this is fairly straightforward. It's not a strength of many of the Egyptian players. And Ahmed in particular, I don't think is a strong jumper. But this is probably well within his range, and he will feel comfortable with this. Hoops much better than they were at the Open Championship 6 weeks ago, and it's been a big factor in this event. We're actually getting genuine competition at hoops because you can't just take random 5-yard 40-degree position and just sail through it. And that makes golf croquet much more interesting. Much more of these battles around hoops, positional play, tactical play, jump shots. And he hit the crown there. Very flicky technique. Didn't stand over it very much, but those wrists powered down into the ball. The black ball jumped up, hit the crown, came down, and Rob's now got just to focus on getting position at hoop 4 with this hoop stroke. He's calling a referee because black's probably obscuring a proportion of yellow, so he could either flick the black as he's following through, much less likely to hit a bevel with the shot, but the most likely fault is the mallet hitting black. And there's another question here is, once yellow's run, can black get anywhere near hoop 4? So probably like a 2-hoop swing, that shot from Ahmed. Had he run it, he would have expected to get 3-1 up, and having failed it, I expect him to go 3-1 down. Now, Rob hasn't played that particularly firmly, so clearly an issue of maybe being a bit close to a wire, not wanting to play a crush shot. And he's about 5 yards in front of hoop 4. Ahmed's played down. I mentioned that patch was particularly slow, but I think he's overhit it. The last match I watched Ahmed play, his positional play was very good. And boy, he's tough to beat when he plays good positional shots. So on lawn 2, early days. Richard Bilton has a fairly easy hoop 2 to take a 2-0 lead against Reg Bamford. He's just missed a 4-yarder. And on lawn 6, Robert Fletcher 5-2 ahead of Mohammed Naz. On lawn 4, Matthew Essick and Mo Karem, early days, 1-all in the first. So that black ball I mentioned couldn't get anywhere near hoop 4, and he's just played it to the eastern offside marker. Robert just putting yellow into position, saying, hey blue, you can't move red and yellow in one shot. So Ahmed's going to move the red ball. Played a nice stop shot there, keeping blue in running position. And he's going to be happy enough with a power shot black at yellow later on. Robert will be trying to play red between blue and the hoop. So he's got some protection. Should black hit the yellow, he wants to try and force Ahmed into as many jump shots as he can today. And at that range, I don't think Ahmed would jump. He'd probably just clear the red were it to be blocking. Yeah, good power clearance. Only hit the yellow quarter ball, possibly even less there, but he's moved it all the way off the lawn, and Robert's got this quite long shot coming back, and I don't think he's going to take it. I think he's just going to play into position and say, okay blue, you're on your hoop, good shot to you, but I'm going to force you to run it. So I would definitely let Ahmed have this hoop shot. You're in a lovely line to play in to try and block the hoop shot, and it's a good, 11-yarder. This just isn't the sort of game I think he's going to suit Rob. It should be into position, let Ahmed fail some hoops. And I'm not sure he's going to take this. This is going to clear the red ball, trying to get into the jaws. He's played a pretty good shot. I think red can clear that through the hoop. But I'm not convinced it's guaranteed to be there. Let's see. So red's going to try this clearance. I think he'll play it fairly firmly. So harder than a mid-pace clearance. I think he might almost go as hard as he feels comfortable hitting it for this. Getting blue miles away is very powerful, and red should stop close to the hoop because it's going to hit some wire. So really as hard as he's comfortable hitting it here. Yeah. Got good distance on the blue. Moved it 20 yards away, and red has hit the hoop and stayed down near hoop 4. You always prefer your ball to finish on the short boundary side, but I don't think it was possible at that angle. So back to one of these positional hoops that are going to favour Robert. As the match goes on, Ahmed may decide to take some of these 3- and 4-yard hoops, but I think early on he just wants to, feel his opponent out, get his own game improving. and he doesn't feel the need to do anything overly aggressive. So Ahmed owning the short boundary side, and the concept here is blue's taken position. Red has to clear black, and it can't clear it very far, and then black will clear yellow. So Robert will probably be aiming 1/3 ball on the right hand side, and he's only hit it about 3/4 ball on the right hand side, so Ahmed now has a better angle to clear yellow some distance. If he'd managed to clear that black another 4 or 5 yards further north, the angle's much worse for black's clearance. And I think this time Ahmed will not be leaving this hoop for yellow. He left Rob a more difficult attempt at hoop 3, which I think was a good decision. Here I don't think you want to leave yellow this hoop shot. This is going to be a full power at yellow. Yeah, hit it in the middle. One of the great things about Ahmed's power is if he does hit that 1/4 ball on the left, it's going off the west boundary. Just adding that extra 10 yards plus to the shot. Obviously, he'll be very happy he's hit it. Robert's now got the choice. Does he shoot at blue to clear it, or does he play into position? And I think this time he should shoot at this. Very difficult to block the shot because you're playing across the angle. You're at 90 degrees to the blocking line. So it's clearly the right choice to clear this time rather than playing a ball into block. Whereas last time he played from near corner 4, I much preferred the blocking shot, and he shot. Very gentle clearance. One of the concepts behind that is if you hit it in the middle, yellow can stay in position, blue would stay not too far away from the hoop, but in an unrunnable position, and you're almost forcing a clearance from the blue. So again, Ahmed back to his more comfortable power style, and the hoops have stayed really good, making good noises. You can tell from the noise that a hoop makes as to how firm it is in the ground, and they're just producing that slightly higher pitched noise, indicating that they're quite firm in the ground. And then poor shot again from Rob. You really want to be tight in front of that hoop. Difficult because he's playing across at 90 degrees, whereas Ahmed had a much easier shot from directly in front. And Ahmed himself probably would have liked that a couple of feet closer. Robert will once again play a ball in, try and get straight in front of the hoop. And that should be runnable. It'll be maybe close to 40 to 35 degrees, but it should be runnable. And Ahmed once again playing a ball in between red and the black, trying to get that block. He knows even if he doesn't get the block, all red can do is move black to the south boundary. 3 choices for Rob here. Double clearance, the most difficult, blue onto black, red onto black to the south boundary, or he could snuggle up to black. So he's played the most difficult of the 3, and for many years now Rob's been regarded as the best sort of cut rusher in the world, and judging those angles, one of Robert's great strengths. And obviously you've then not got to be able to judge it, you've got to be able to play the shot accurately. And he's gone from a position where he was clear underdog for the hoop to now being clear favourite. 2-all. Over the top. One of the issues with hitting the ball as hard as Ahmed does is sometimes you don't hit it quite as flat as you want, and it was bouncing straight away. That south boundary area has been repaired over the past 2 months. They had quite significant crow damage at Southwick, with the crows pecking up worms through the lawn, and they've reseeded, and it's much better than it was a couple of months ago, but maybe just still not quite as flat as other areas of the lawn. That was fairly straightforward. I mentioned yesterday earlier that Reg, Robbie Fletcher, Mo Karem, they've made those look quite easy, and other players have made them look quite difficult. So a let off there for Ahmed. Should have been 3-2, with Robert having an advantage at 6 as well. And I think we'll see Ahmed take the hoop on the basis that it's a free go. Black's miles away. Even if yellow is cleared by blue, red and yellow are in too strong a position. So Ahmed quite rightly analysed that position and said the best chance I'm going to have of winning hoop 5 is to take that hoop shot on. So yellow, I believe, is in good hoop running position, and I don't think black's got anything. At most, it's got about a quarter of a ball. So Robert's just playing slightly deeper to make sure that when yellow runs, red can still get up to hoop 6. But were yellow to be cleared, and it might have half a ball, that red can still run the hoop from straight. And Ahmed, I think he's going to give up here, and he's just going to play south of the peg. So good choice, and he's played it well as well. It's good length. It's about a yard south of the peg, so nicely onside. And Rob needs to run this nicely. I mentioned yesterday working out where your miss is, and the miss for Robert on that hoop stroke is long. He's disappointed because he wanted to run it in front of hoop 6, but you're much better running it 3 yards long than to within 2 yards of black. Lovely positional shot from Ahmed there, and you can see had yellow finished by the peg, black would have been all over yellow. So that's why the error is always long in that position. And I think yellow has some sort of shot at the blue. So red's played in. I wouldn't be surprised to see Ahmed clear the red here. Lovely shot. So I think Rob's got the middle of this. He may not have the left-hand side, but the middle's what he wants anyway. Yeah, again, a little sign of dissatisfaction, indicating he was able to hit the middle of it. But he's done the main job. He's moved blue out of position, and he's kept yellow fairly close to the hoop, if not as close as he would ideally want. Very tight position there from Ahmed. Hasn't blocked yellow at the hoop, but it's in a very straightforward running position from 9 inches at about 20 degrees. Rob has no need to do anything other than play red into good position avoiding blocking yellow at blue. I think it's just finished short enough. He'd probably just be able to get past that red and hit the blue. And Ahmed will play in. He's once again quite a good line to try and get this block that I mentioned Robert didn't want between yellow and the blue, and he's ended up not a good shot at all. That actually makes blue's hoop shot really quite difficult. Blue's going to have to jump over black now if Rob misses it, whereas I think red might be able to sort of hit the black in the middle and follow through and run the hoop. So not a good black. And I'm assuming Rob will clear this blue, providing he's open on it. So, I can't tell you whether he was open on blue. If he was, I anticipated him to hit it harder than that. He's obviously hit partner, which isn't what he wanted to do, I don't think. He may have been trying to promote it towards blue. I just can't tell from my angle, but clearly not the shot that Robert wanted. And can Ahmed now get a quick vertical takeoff and get over this black ball? Opting just to nudge into the draws. I think Robert will just play a hard shot moving black and blue, but he will end up having to move yellow as well. So he'll probably try and move this so yellow moves about 7 yards, I would guess. Unless black sneaks between yellow and the hoop. Yeah, that's excellent result. So got red in position to run the hoop, got black so it's some distance away from yellow for the clearance that he might want. I think Ahmed will do what I mentioned earlier and focus on clearing the ball that's just played. If you can clear the ball that's just played before you, you're generally in a good position. And out of character again, I expected red to go to the boundary and black to maybe finish 4 yards away from the hoop. Ahmed's played this time mid-pace clearance. I'm a bit surprised Robert's played in there. He's overhit it again, and blue will take the hoop on. If blue misses, red will hit black away, but you have to take the hoop on here. Good shot, 3-all. So a quick update on the other lawns. Very little progress on lawn 2. Richard Bilton remains 2-0 up against Reg. So that hoop's been going for quite some time, hoop 3. Robbie is 6-3 up on lawn 6 against Mohammed. Good positional shot from Rob there in front of 7. And on lawn 4, Matthew and Mo, 2-all. Graham, you're behind. Can you just come this way? You're behind Ahmed's shot. Missed by a little way, that I think. And I honestly believe that this is a genuine change in the Egyptian strategy. At hoop 7, they're shooting a lot more with the first ball. In the past, I've seen Ahmed play black into position, and then blue spanks red away, potentially cutting it half ball, maybe 20 yards south. So Rob's got lots of options here. He's got a jump shot, red over yellow. He's got a rush peel, or he's got a rush jaws. And he's opted for the rush jaws, which would potentially have had blue in the way of black's shot. Because he hasn't quite got it, in fact I think it might be quite bad, I think it might be on the left hand wire, I think Ahmed's in quite good position here. So yeah, Ahmed's saying, hey, this yellow is just rubbish. I'm going to play into jumping range, and then blue can smash red away. It's not ideal because of where black's finished, but I'm not sure yellow can snuggle up to black, and I don't think it can run it. The angle Rob is at is very acute, and I think it is genuinely difficult. Getting the ball up with the ability to hit the far wire, drop down, and then spin through is very difficult from that angle. From that closeness. So what he's looking at is he can hit about half of yellow with the mallet, and if he can play a really good touch shot and snuggle up to blue, then blue won't be able to do anything in terms of moving the red. So fantastic shot if you can pull this off. It's definitely your best line of play if you pull it off. If you played this acute jump and it worked, yellow would obviously score the point, which is wonderful, but would only run it by inches. If you play the snuggle correctly up to blue, and blue can't then do anything, then red's not only going to run the hoop, but it's probably going to run it down to hoop 8. So he can snuggle up to black. He can try and move the red, so blue's clearance on red moves black and leaves red where it is. He can try the little jump shot, and he can snuggle up to blue. Lots of options. Oh, I'll throw another one in there as well. He could just pop yellow in the jaws and say, "Hi, yeah, you had a shocking jump shot at hoop 3. I'm going to give you another one." So he's moved black out of hoop running position, and I think that's pretty good. I'm very happy letting blue have a go at this angled hoop. It's about 40 degrees. Over on lawn 6, Robert Fletcher is now game up against Mohammed Naz. Standard clearance there. Ahmed's just flicked the red, very fine, off the east boundary, taking control of the north boundary directly in front of hoop 7. And you know what he's going to be trying to do. Red's just going to play back in here, and then black's going to try and stop yellow away, holding position. And Ahmed knows he's got this sort of safety ball on the north boundary that can't be cleared. And he's just going to force Rob to try and hit a few 8-yarders. So Rob needs to play into good position again. This looks good. Excellent shot. I think Ahmed will have a little thought in his mind about he doesn't want to clear yellow blocking blue from red with the black. That's obviously sort of disastrous. He has a very, very good stop shot, so he can hold black almost within a ball, but he only needs to overrun that by a ball and a half, and blue's going to be locked on red. So he's decided, because of that, he's a bit worried about the clearance, and he's going to take his opportunity while he's got it to try and run this hoop with black. It's tough. I wouldn't be taking this on. I would be playing the clearance, and I'd be looking at flicking yellow into the edge of red. Oh, he's played it really well. That's just excellent. That is a really good shot. Held black almost on a dime behind the red, so yellow hasn't got more than about a quarter ball if it wants to shoot at black, which would be the standard line of play, clear black here. Great shot. Certainly didn't have the middle of that. He clearly had 3/4 of it. And mid-pace clearance from Ahmed. It's a good shot. Normally you'd try and hit that on the right side to keep the short boundary yourself. So blue would finish west of the hoop, but any clearance there, moving red, keeping blue within range of the hoop, is good. Rob's got two choices. He can either play deep, or what I would do is play fairly close to the hoop on the western side, forcing blue to clear me towards the corner eventually. I'm not a big fan of playing that deep to hoops. I'm just going to try and play nice tight position. It's a very good shot, but red is still open on the hoop. I think yellow should clear this. And then I think blue has a very good chance of nudging in front for a genuine block, red on the hoop. And that will give Ahmed a slight advantage, but I really don't like lines of play that involve leaving black in front here. Lots of options for Ahmed here. He can block red at black with a single ball stroke. He can cut red half ball off the north boundary, so yellow's blocking it from hitting black or the hoop, or he can snuggle up to the red. I thought he'd take the power option there. It's just held, but he might have second prize and have hampered Rob's backswing. I'm not sure. It will probably need a ref. Now looks like Rob's completely open. Yeah, good shot. I mentioned this northern half is faster. When Ahmed played that shot, it looked good when it came off his mallet. I also mentioned that there's a general hill towards the clubhouse, and it just floated half a ball left. I didn't think it was a bad shot at all. But when you get a snuggle wrong, it's generally pretty catastrophic. I was surprised Ahmed went for the snuggle from 4 yards when he had this half ball cut to the north boundary that would have been very strong. Lots of balls in between Robert and the hoop, with Ahmed having a very short straight hoop, unless Robert played either a jump from the boundary or a multi-clearance from the boundary. But after that tactical battle, Robert's clearly come out on ahead. Yeah, a lovely hoop that. Got it most of the way down to hoop 8. He's 4-3 up. So over on lawn 2, we've had about a half-hour battle for hoop 3, and eventually Reg managed to get a snuggle, and he's about to run it from 9 inches to go 2-1 down in the first. Good positional shot from Ahmed with blue. Robert will play in, and he's deliberately gone fractionally west of the hoop to give himself as big a wiring area when yellow clears the blue as he can possibly get. Very disappointing black that. You know, you've got two things you're trying to do. You're trying to block yellow on blue, and you're trying to get in front of the hoop, and he's basically been miles away from both. And the hill doesn't go that way, so no real excuse for black. It's just a bad shot. And Robert will be disappointed he hasn't managed to take blue off the south boundary there. And that's another disappointing shot. Ahmed would have been trying to hit that in the middle, keeping control of the hoop with the blue ball. And as it is, not only has he failed to do that, moving blue a long way away, he hasn't done enough to stop Robert taking this hoop on. Not easy, but great opportunity to go 5-3 up. And the more it turns into a mid-pace battle, the more it's going to favour Robert. On lawn 4, Matthew's just taken a 5-3 lead against Mo. And here I think we'll see Ahmed execute his full maximum stop shot. And he's quite right, it's in a little hole. So Robert said, yeah, just move it a few millimetres forward. It's really important when you're playing a stop shot not to get your ball bouncing. That's just really good. One of Ahmed's big strengths is his back ball control over that short range. Ideally, Rob would have wanted to block black at the hoop there. I'm really not 100% sure Ahmed's going to take the hoop on. This is the beauty of being a good positional player and keep putting balls dead straight at short range in front of the hoop. You're constantly putting doubt in your opponent's mind. and he's playing his stop shot clearance. He's not prepared to take that hoop on with yellow in such good range. Hasn't managed to hold black in front of the hoop. Has he managed to block yellow at blue, which is much straighter? Rob won't want to get his balls out of position by risking missing blue. So he's just going to say, okay, go home, put a blocker in. That's very close to the block, very, very close. It's a free go for Ahmed because red can't move black anywhere dangerous. But he might still keep control of that short boundary side with a little nudgy clearance. And we're back to neutrality again now. Rob's got first play, so you might think he's got an advantage, but Ahmed's got the short boundary side, so it's very, very neutral. So at club level, the natural play here is to take wide position from yellow with black, hopefully runnable. The danger here is red is all over the black ball. And if you play short, yellow can play to wide position from the blue ball, and it's really not strong at all. It's quite a challenging position, this. I wouldn't be surprised to see black play north-east of the hoop by 7 or 8 feet, trying to get further away from red and not allowing yellow an easy stop shot clearance on it. Everything in your mind is telling you black goes wide from yellow because it just looks good, but it isn't good. It's not a strong line of play, black wide from yellow. This position northeast of the hoop to try and make it more neutral. And he's done the same sort of concept. He's played, I would have moved it 3 yards further north than that, so it was threatening to run as well. He's just trying to break the hoop down into a more 50-50 battle, whereas Rob had the edge with a really good position with red on the side boundary and a yellow potentially easy position to take wide from the blue ball. I still think Rob's going to try and do the same thing of wire from blue, and I think he will take his clearance on. Oh, it's held. It's held the opposite way to the standard hill on the lawn. So Ahmed will just play a ball in here. Interesting, tried to move it mid-pace. I think Rob's just going to take this as a free clearance. If he hits it well, yellow's in fantastic running position. Now he's playing a ball in. I thought blue had finished sufficiently near the hoop that it was still a threat, and Rob was going to actually take red at black almost as a free shot. So black will clear yellow. And it's finished in between blue and red, which is pretty disastrous. Blue's going to end up having to take the hoop on from 8 yards away. So yellow will try and block that. As Tony Stevens says, block the gate, stop blue's hoop shot. closing the gate. Under hit, and I don't think blue can hit the red here, so I think it's only got the hoop. And Ahmed's not going to be happy with that. You do not want to take on 8-yard hoops when your opponent's got a 4-foot hoop after you. Particularly when you're 4-3 down. Just waiting for a spectator. You will want the spectator to move. No, you do what the player tells you to do. Yeah. Oh, bloody hell, he stopped again. Right, so 8-yard hoop. Smashy smash. Missed the hoop completely. And you can see the danger of sort of standing behind these shots. There's always that potential that the ball can bounce up. And we've had them over these barriers on a few occasions. So, this is an indication that Rob thinks yellow is much easier than the red. And he's taking the safety option of clearing the black, which will almost by definition, if he clears it in the middle, give black another 25-yard shot at what will be a double target, hoop and ball. So I think he's going to try and cut this so black doesn't have... Oh, no, he isn't. And he hasn't got hoop 2 in play. So a genuine double, hoop and ball. As the match goes on, there's going to be more pressure on red just running that straight away. Don't give the bonus shot away. These hoops are run occasionally, or you miss and you clear the yellow. It's close. Oh, middle of the left-hand wire. Good chance. Good effort. And now Robert really needs to run this off the lawn. He doesn't want a position where, after he's run this and left it on the lawn, oh my word, he's failed it. I was going to say he doesn't want to leave it on the lawn, because if blue takes position at 9, black might be left with a clearance on yellow up towards corner 3. Which potentially, you know, black could get up towards hoop 10 itself. So after a lot of play there, an easy opportunity. I'm joined by my good wife. Have you played your match?
Yeah,
And the scores?
7-6, 7-6 to Kareem. I played some really, really good shots and then some absolutely horrible ones.
Oh well, never mind. So Jenny's managed to finish 2 games, and Robert and Ahmed are still on hoop 8 in the first, and Reg and Richard are on hoop 5 in the first. Reg is now equalised at 2-all, having gone down 2-0 early, and has got a ball in the jaws of hoop 5.
Game 1.
Game 1. Yeah.
Okay.
So the only game in the playoffs that has finished is between Robbie Fletcher, who's game up against Mohammed Naz.
Mohammed's a very quick player.
Yeah.
But Robbie ran a risk yesterday of hitting balls while balls were still moving. That rule 12, the overlapping ball one's a bit of a minefield.
Yeah, don't like the rule itself. It doesn't really help the game, in my opinion. There we go. So
Ridiculous on fast courts because often a ball's just still rolling somewhere miles away.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
now I think that's what he's tried to do, Jen. I think he's tried to get wide from the blue, and I assume he's checked that red can hit the black. Obviously, from our commentary position, it's not always easy to see the exact angles. Ahmed not just trying to get hoop position there, but trying to block red at this black.
think he's gone a couple of balls too far there.
Yeah, and here I don't think Robert needs his full smash. Because blue is blocking black. If he hits it at the right angle, Ahmed's going to be in trouble. So it's a good hit, but he's open on the yellow.
Got Bilton with a jump shot at hoop 5.
Nah, nowhere
Oh
near
dear.
it. He's managed to move yellow to a more angled position though, hasn't he? So Reg might not be able to run it all the way up to hoop 6.
Yeah, he just didn't get enough power onto that. And he's played some really, really good jump shots in other matches that I've seen and played in.
Very surprised by that. This is a wibble. Lots of good outcomes,
So
and he's got
fabulous
one.
wibble.
So there are lots of outcomes. They could have rushed blue between yellow and the hoop, blue into the hoop. He could have hit yellow behind the hoop, which is what he's done, or he could have just sort of snuggled up to yellow at a certain pace. I thought he'd just play a power clearance on yellow.
It does just show that there are other options to smashing balls, though.
Absolutely, it's just not normally Ahmed's line of play, is it? I think Robert might be forced to try and cut black into blue here, or run hoop 1 to hit blue.
Reg over there's on with yellow just gone back into the jaws of hoop 5, so he's got a good advantage. Richard's up on the boundary next to hoop 3, so he has got a chance for a clearance, but it's long. He's having a go at yellow here with blue next to hoop 1.
And he's rush peeled it.
I couldn't see any other outcome from that. He was clear in the jaws.
I tend to agree. But anyway, 3-2 to Reg. Good comeback from a 2-0 deficit to start. Rob. Is he running hoop 1 to hit blue?
No, I think he's coming outside. I think he's got a bit of it. Ah, he was trying to come off black. That's
So
quite clever.
that was so difficult though. That he had to just flick it.
Ahmed stopped black there. Does that have any implications these days?
What a good question. So black wasn't going off the lawn. So you are allowed to stop balls if they're about to go off the lawn in a non-critical position, aren't you?
Yes, you are.
But you're not really meant to stop balls which are not going off the lawn.
It's really just interference, and it just goes. And in fact, I think he just realised he'd done something a bit daft, and then sort of knocked it to where it should be. And it's got into his head because he's then had a relatively easy, I think, hoop 8, which he's failed.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier that he's sort of one or the other is Ahmed. He can either hit it absolutely straight as a die, and you wonder how can a player who does that fail a 2-foot straight hoop. And the difference between Egyptian golf croquet players and association croquet players is just so important, because we just use a 2-foot hoop is just nothing, is it? It's just you smooth it through with a basic technique, and if you fail a 2-foot hoop at association croquet, the penalty is vast. Whereas failing a 2-foot hoop here, Ahmed's actually still favourite, isn't he?
I think I might have failed a 2-foot hoop to lose up there.
Oh dear, you didn't tell me that. No dinner for you then.
Had a brilliant run, ran a 7-yard hoop from 45 degrees. Had an in off the next shot, and then rushed partner down to 2 feet from hoop 12. Anyways, we got. I'm not sure it's blue runner. Blue must be jaws.
I don't think blue's runnable, but it's probably jawsable. Again, tough to see from our angle. What I do know is yellow's got a lovely target.
I think Reg is now shooting from halfway between the peg and 5 at hoop 6 here. I'm not sure that he can see black. He's shooting at the hoop.
It's definitely not going to be shooting at the hoop because the red can. Oh, you
That's
think
right,
red's
that's right.
wired from black, do you? Okay,
Anyway, he's hit it straight into the peg, so
not good.
not a very Reg
Not
like
good.
shot.
So yeah, I think red's going to play in, and I think then black's going to play in. Red's going to want to be in a position west of the hoop, so blue can't clear it to the north boundary. So occupying that short boundary side. Black's then going to play in, and I think yellow's going to end up with a nice target. Blue in the hoop,
Yep.
maybe black as well.
Trouble is, if yellow hits blue, blue's then got a clearance on red to the north boundary.
It has, but this is sort of potentially going to be one of the best opportunities Rob gets.
Yeah.
Particularly if we think this blue is jawsing.
Oh, absolutely.
If blue
yeah.
can't jaws, I think yellow might have the time to just play in.
But if blue's jawsing, is red in the right spot? because hitting blue is going to give blue a clearance all the way up the lawn.
Yeah, they quite like this side-on position. They do believe they can clear balls in hoops from there.
Yeah.
Again, the power is massive. If you can only hit it half the pace of Ahmed, like a lot of players in this tournament, the side is a pretty dodgy place to be. So Rob has felt that he's got the time to get yellow into the hoop. This does look very angled. So he's got it in the front of the jaws.
There are a few rabbit runs starting to develop now, just from balls hitting the hoop and spinning. So you do get a bit more fortunate at this stage of the tournament with the ball popping in sometimes.
Now, a lot of players here could just clear the black with red, and then they'd be happy to take on the jump shot. Robert isn't one of them.
You don't like jumping through hoop 8. And if it goes wrong, it goes badly wrong because they get the first play up to the next hoop.
Yeah, and at hoop 4-3 up,
Yeah.
Robert is definitely not going to be finding that as an option.
Oh.
So he's tried to play very gently into blue, holding red in position to block the black, and it's gone too far, I think.
Yeah. So blue wasn't in the jaws at all. It's just in front of the hoop.
Yeah.
It's a very dribbly hoop shot from that.
I think he knew the jaws was very powerful.
Right.
So he didn't want to smash and bounce back. So 4-all.
It's the gentlest hoop shot I've ever seen him play.
3-all on lawn 2 between Reg and Richard.
Yeah, so Reg was cross-wired from hoop 6 from Richard, so he played a blocking position and Richard played a nice wee hop to run hoop 6.
On lawn 6, Robbie game up 3-all in the second.
And Mo Karim's just had a very long range attempt at hoop 2. I believe Matthews went up.
Matthew was 5-3 up, so I don't think Mo's had enough time to come back and win that.
Yeah, we've got a blue clip on the peg, so Matthews definitely went up, and Mo is 1-0 up.
So pretty good positional shot with yellow, even better positional shot with blue, and I'm someone who likes playing between deep balls and the hoop. I know it gives you a northwards clearance to miles away. I just like it. I think it works so often.
Is blue runnable?
Blue and yellow are both good, I think.
Right. Okay. Be nice to have these guys using clips, because what we found yesterday is, for the spectators, there are quite a lot of positions on the lawn where you can't see the score.
Ah, I see. Yes, I could imagine if you sat on the south boundary, it's difficult to see the scoreboard, isn't it?
It's actually on this lawn. It's not too bad. You can see the scoreboard from most vantage points. I think the crowd will probably grow a bit later on though.
We know the Egyptian players aren't used to using clips, and they're much happier when it goes to scoreboards, aren't they?
It's just not blue dead in front there. Yes. Yes, Kareem said that. He actually said he quite liked using clips because it felt more like something a bit different and special.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he's a super nice guy. It's always one of the big things about a World Championship. It's just lovely to play among the Egyptian players and talk to them, and a bit different to the people that one normally plays.
Yeah. A couple of instances where Ahmed's moved his ball, with the permission of Robert, out of what you might call an indifferent area of the lawn. And the rules don't really allow for that. There are lots of little hollows around here. And unless you're in a hoop hole, you're often not allowed to do that. It's nice to see the match being played in a good spirit, and Robert just saying, yeah, sure, if you need to move it a few millimetres from 14 yards away, it's no problem.
Rob's always going to say yes, he's a nice chap.
So yellow's got a very straightforward clearance now.
I suspect that that's the custom in Egypt, just like they're moving the balls in from the boundary.
And two things he's trying to do: move blue a long way away, but equally important there, wire blue from red.
Yep.
And it's not far away, is it?
I think he's achieved that really well.
Again, hoop 9, such an important hoop. Opportunity to not just get to 5-4, but take control of hoop 10 as well.
Yeah, once you've made hoop 10, you're not that far from hoop 11 for clearances.
So he's got something, because he's shooting. Nope. Again, that ball must have gone about 11 foot high.
It's a little bit of a hazard for people who are sitting on the south boundary. Amra yesterday had a bunch of spectators that he shot towards it, hit the pipe and jumped up over the fence, and everyone just kind of watched to see where it landed. Unfortunately, there were no victims. No, they've done a really good job of the health and safety here.
He won't be happy with that. That's run to corner 3. And he really wants that in front of 10.
Although running to corner 3 is kind of handy rather than running it dead straight, because it makes a much smaller wiring spot for Ahmed taking position at hoop 10.
Not bad. 2.5 yards.
Yeah, it's quite a longish clearance for red. But
Yeah.
like I was saying, if red had run through straight, then there's no chance that it would have been able to see black.
That's big danger signs to me, Jenny. Had Ahmed played a decent blue, and it's rubbish, this blue, isn't it?
It is
Absolute
dreadful.
rubbish. But if blue had been good, if red didn't clear the black, black can clear yellow to the boundary, getting near 11.
Yeah.
So you don't want that yellow west of black. You want it east of black.
And this is a strong tactic that we're only really seeing from the top of the players. You do need to have a bit of power as well. But yeah, that second ball has to be good.
Yeah, I'm just astonished at that blue. Just astonished. Because they know it's such a key phase of the game. As soon as that yellow's flicked off that black,
Yeah.
alarm bells are ringing in my mind. Hey, Chris, one positional shot and you might be 6-5 up soon. So Rob's just taken his sweater off. Getting quite warm, isn't it?
It's a gorgeous day today. There's a bit of breeze that Rob won't be enjoying, but no, it's just a lovely day. The clearance from Rob.
Excellent clearance, and he put a little bit more into that, didn't it? That was sort of his quite firm shot.
Yeah, but firm rather than an all-out smash.
He really hasn't got an all-out smash.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
And exactly, Ben Rothman won this tournament last year with mid-pace clearances and good hoop running. And you don't have to have the sorts of power that Ahmed and Mohammed and Ewan Burridge and, Blake and lots of the other people have. It's not compulsory.
I think when you have that power, there's a temptation to use it too often.
Absolutely. Not an easy hoop. Now, I think Ahmed will play in with the blue.
Do you reckon black can see yellow? 'Cause
Yes.
If it can half ball yellow, it's got this, or 3/4 ball, it's got a lovely chance to get to 11.
Absolutely. The blue plays in. Now, clearing black to ward from yellow is the winning shot, isn't it?
Ooh. Yes.
Equally, clearing blue isn't dreadful, but black, we think, has got a fairly straightforward clearance on yellow.
I've just seen Ridge having taken on a 5-yard hoop shot and hitting the outside of the hoop.
Yeah, it wasn't very good, was it? So Richard should be 4-all soon. Oh, he's run the hoop.
Oh, good shot, Rob.
So, be fascinating to see what he actually took on there
Yes.
later in the day.
Yes, he may have had.
Because I mentioned that hitting blue was okay. So we've now got some clear separation, 6-4.
Oh,
And
that's a beautiful
fabulous,
shot.
fabulous shot from Ahmed.
What's that, about 10 inches dead straight?
Yeah, and I think Rob's going to clear this first ball.
Yeah, there's a chance for an off. There's
No, I don't think there
shorter.
is. There's no in off
Yeah.
here. Black's just off straight on the western side, so there's no possibility of in off. But yellow's at black is significantly closer than red at black.
Yeah, we've got a bit of hoop in play. It's affecting his footing, so he's just
Okay.
taking position there. Keep going, Rob. That's
Good
a
shot.
really good shot.
Good shot.
So important not to block yourself.
Ahmed's got two choices. Blue clears yellow, or blue plays in to block red at black.
I got the feeling, just the bit I've seen since I've come here, that he's not fancying his shooting so much. Haven't seen him take on many power shots since I've been here, and that shot at hoop 8 wasn't very good, the really hard one.
Yeah. Yeah. So over on lawn 2, it's gone 4-all, and perhaps surprisingly, Reggie's first two balls over to hoop 9 neither of them have got hoop position.
Yellow's interesting, it might be runnable, but they're not great shots. Oh, no, he's walking to it,
So yeah, they're both basically bad. So here, red at black, and this is one you want to hit at your full power.
Let's have a look at what Rob's full power is.
That is his full power. Great shot. Almost went in off that from a obviously much different angle from where yellow was playing.
Keeps red in the vicinity of the hoop too, which is handy.
It is. And this is going to be full power back again, black at yellow.
Interested to see his full power shot then. Yep.
No. And we've seen Rob miss probably 3 of these so far.
That's much straighter than hoop 10 though.
It was, yeah. He had a very easy hoop 8.
Right.
Near wire. You can't run them off the near wire.
This is going to be a really, really long day for these players. It's going to be interesting to see how fortunes change.
I much prefer playing 1 best of 5 to 2 best of 3s.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really keen to come out and play a second one. Yeah, you go and play your match for the day is quite fun.
That's not the middle loop. Okay, so this is going to be full power again. And if you can run it off the south boundary, he'll almost certainly get some sort of northwards clearance,
Yes.
which is what you're trying to generate when you're 6-4 and 6-5 down.
Quite angled.
It is, it's not easy. And isn't it great that we're sat here going, that hoop isn't easy? Because 6 weeks ago, you couldn't fail them.
British Open, you weren't saying that about anything. They've done a magnificent job over these 6 weeks getting to the lawns and hoops to this stage.
And I think it's changed over the last few days as well. I think they stopped watering a few days ago.
It's getting pretty quick. The ball just rolls on that few extra balls.
Yeah, so they're definitely getting faster every day. And I think they stopped watering around about Monday, Tuesday time.
That's great. It's lovely conditions to play the event in.
Oh,
Oh, dear.
unlucky. Bad luck there. Great clearance on the yellow, but just flicked off and absolutely centre balled his partner ball all the way down towards hoop 12.
And probably wired from red, isn't it?
No, it's open. They're both just a little bit on the western side, so it's definitely open, but Rob's going to get 2 balls in front here and is massive favourite at 11.
Yeah, this is where you need your very best central clearances to get back into the hoop.
Excellent shot with yellow, dead straight in front.
Really, I think it's a little bit far. I think red's dead straight.
In the middle. So,
Camera woman agrees with me. So in the middle, Rob's going to come back, but Ahmed may have some sort of ugly go at the hoop if he's desperate.
right, next shot's black at yellow, isn't it? And Rob's going to try and block that with this positional shot.
It's looking good.
Just a bit too far.
Small risk of a double clearance here, but very unlikely.
And at least that's 3 consecutive hits for Ahmed. So even if he loses his first game, he's got some positivity going on.
Yes.
Again, nicely in front. Certainly draws a ball, that, isn't it?
Yep. And probably blocking blue as well.
At some stage, when you're clearing, you have to try and play a shot that keeps your ball in the vicinity.
Yep.
And that's the one that Ahmed's gone for. It's a gentle clearance.
Played it
And
well.
now he is sort of back in the hoop, providing that either yellow doesn't run or black clears it. And we can't really see, is it 45 degrees or easier?
Well, that's the sort of shot that Duncan Dixon, who we're missing here, is very, very good at.
Absolutely. Back in front again. Now, is yellow runnable? No, it isn't. Black's playing in. Lovely shot.
Oh, very nice.
You need to be a bit careful here with where you decide the yellow is going to finish. Easy to clear the black, but you don't want to allow a double clearance. Ugh. Certainly you can flick yellow probably 1/10 ball and clear both, or you can hit it on the other side and do that. And that was an error from Rob. You could see beforehand there was a danger.
Yep.
And you can't leave your balls that close together. Ahmed's got position, hoop running position, and clearing position with the blue.
Given how much trouble he was in, that one shot has just put him well back in the hoop.
Yeah. So black will take position here. Where's this going? Where's this going? My word. Looked like that all the way to me. It was just drifting, wasn't it?
Starting to curve a bit, yeah. Oh, you've got to have a bit of luck in this game as well.
Now, Reddy's still got an easy jump shot.
Yeah.
And it's just got a power
Blue off the lawn,
Power
cross
blue.
fingers.
with yellow off the lawn.
But hasn't Ahmed done well to get back into the hoop?
Absolutely. Good shot. And a big shot now coming up. He's hit 4 consecutive.
Yes. And hit them well as well.
And just an update, because we're going to be leaving at the end of this game, and we're going to be replaced with fresh commentary. Over on lawn 4, Mo is 4-2 up in the second game down. It's 4 all on lawn 2 between Reg and Richard.
Well, and on lawn 2, they've been at this for probably getting on for 15 minutes,
Oh, in the middle.
trying to move red in to get it relief, because you're just going to hit the net with your backswing. But yellow's sort of in the front of the jaws of the hoop and black's in between them.
And on lawn 6, Robbie Fletcher is 4-3 down to Mohammed, but game up. Robert sensibly just playing onside. Don't want to get the peg in the way. Don't want to finish offside. I think he's just a few inches the right side of the peg.
Yeah, I think he's on a good spot.
So very good shot there. And Ahmed will be trying to run this down tight in front of 12.
Runs it well, misses the peg, and that's a lovely shot.
Yeah, good shot. Has red got a double?
I think blue has wandered a wee bit to the left, so I would expect...
So black, yeah.
Sorry, black. I think there might be a gap, actually.
Okay. Overhit. Let's finish the side of the hoop, I think. So blue will play in, trying to get between red and black. What sort of target has the red ball got?
Black's played a really good shot.
Black's blocking red, is it?
Black is blocking red, just the edge of it.
So this is a nightmare. Red has to clear black, but it knows that there's this disaster shot available of rush peeling it. I managed to avoid that. That's a lovely shot. Well played. Keeping red in good hoop position. And this is very neutral.
Can blue run that hoop? In which case it's not neutral at all.
I'm very happy to let blue have a go at that hoop, Jenny.
Right.
Yes is the answer to your question. It can.
And Ahmed's not there. Yeah, I mean, if he was completely confident of the hoop, he can have a smash at yellow and get up towards 13, but he wasn't fancying that.
Rob's certainly thinking the same, because he's clearing black up to 13. So Ahmed might take this on the basis black is now in front of hoop 6. If I run this, this is as good as it's going to get.
Yeah.
For hoop 13. No, this is a jawsy type shot.
Well, it's still...
Near wire.
There was a pace it would have run it, I think, if near wire hadn't intervened.
And Rob has complete control. Again, he's cleared the ball that's played before yellow. Now he's going to clear the ball that plays before red.
Leaving both his balls in front of the hoop.
Yeah.
This will be black having a go at the hoop, won't it?
No, I think Ahmed will play in with the black and clear with the blue.
Okay. No, he doesn't have much of a swing. Looks a bit worried about it.
And the safe line of play here is just clear the black ball in the middle. Keep control of the hoop with yellow. And really, you have got choices, haven't you? You can just play in here. Force red's hoop.
I'm not sure. Having a sort of a gentle go at red's pretty good. I don't think I want to leave Rob at the game.
He's failed a few.
Yeah. It's very straight, this one, though. But you're right, he has.
Plenty of wire. So 7-5 to Rob. That's a sort of break of serve, having won with red and yellow. And the I'll probably have a little break now, and Alison will organise a couple more commentators.
Hi everyone, we're just going to watch a bit of the Reg Bamford Richard Bilton game while we're waiting for the other match to start again.
Well, good afternoon. It's not good afternoon yet. I think it's still good morning, everyone. It feels like the afternoon. I've just played a game, and so is my co-commentator here, Ewan Burridge.
Hello everybody, thought we could come in for game 2 after what I believe to have been a fairly convincing win for Rob in the first, despite slight issues at hoop 11. From what I've heard, that if Rob plays at his best, it would have been quite a convincing victory there. So remains to be seen how game 2 goes. Rob's just playing the 4th shot here, clearing blue.
I should probably introduce myself as well. It's Chris Roberts. I'm the former editor of the Croquet Gazette, for those of you to put a face to a name. And
Or a voice
Mr.
to a
Burridge,
name.
a voice to a name, yeah, a voice to a name. Although I think we may guess on camera here. Our
Potentially, yeah.
cameraman is now Graham Good, who's actually changing position because apparently the
Oh.
picture quality was very poor from our commentary position, which was at corner 2, and Graham's now taking up a position with the mobile camera underneath the hut, which is pretty well centre on the south boundary. So when he stops moving the camera around, our production lady, who at the moment is Alison Norm, and we can say good morning. We're on the we're
Good
live
morning,
over there.
everybody.
Look at that. Hello.
It's not that cold, I just don't want to get sunburnt.
That's right. I have an ice cold Coke. So
And Rob's hit 4th turn, and
meanwhile, back at the croquet.
it looks as though he's been left in off here by Atman. I think he'll be taking it on. It looks really, really juicy.
Nope.
Oh, he's hit blue and gone the other side of the hoop.
Was that an in-off?
Well, it
Was it
It
in-off
was an attempted
attempt?
in-off, but
An
it
in-off attempt.
pinged back the wrong side of the hoop, and now Ahmed's got relative control of one. That looks like a perfect wire from red.
Meanwhile, on an adjoining court, forgive me, I'm not sure if we have scores up from other games, but we can tell you that in the Reg Bamford versus Richard Bilton game, I think I've got that.
So Bamford's 6-4 up after being
Thank you.
2-0 down
Yes.
early doors. Essek and Karem is 4-all, having with
Essek
a
won the
1-0
first
to Essex, 7-3.
Yeah, I like the look of Matthew Essek. I thought he's
Yeah.
impressed me right from the word go. Really controlled, doesn't seem to have the same trouble with the hoops as most of us have at these championships. And he was absolutely flawless against me. But now he's got a much stiffer test.
Yeah,
in,
that's a
in
great
Mo
shot
Karam
from
over
Reg
there.
over there. He's just flicked the ball out of the front of 11. You can't see that, but it was outrageously good.
So we're getting a thumbs up from
Graham, I
Graham
think that
on
means
the
camera's
mobile
ready.
camera, so I think that means Graham's ready to be used.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we've now got Dawn Good in the production room, flicking the switches and keeping score for you.
Oh, that was an attempt to go through the back to hit black, which missed. And I think on the third quarter final, we have Robert Fletcher 6-4 down, but I believe a game up. Oh no, it might be that's the first game, 6-4 down.
To Mohammed Nazar.
Yeah. And that hoop comes through pretty convincingly. Yeah, I think it'd be safe to say that one ran. So early lead for Ahmed after Rob did have a sliver of a chance to win hoop one, but
You got a better angle there. Has he got a clear run to?
he can get 2 yards
He
in
can
front.
get
He can't get in the jaws as such, but he wouldn't be trying to do that anyway. I think it's going to be interesting to see the contrast of styles here. I don't think it couldn't be much more opposites.
Extreme
Yeah.
hard hitting of Ahmed.
Yeah.
And the positional
Yeah.
delicacy that's brought Rob forward. Is it 5 AC World
I think
Championships?
so, yeah.
I think so.
And you've done Ahmed a slight disservice though, because he is brilliant positional play as well. It doesn't get enough credit for his positional play. I mean, just that blue there. I think it might be a bit unlucky that it's blocked black at yellow, but just putting a ball a foot in front of a hoop on these quick lawns now
Is
from 20 yards is pretty reasonable if you ask me.
it's impressive.
He's nudged his ball, well, Yeah, that wasn't great.
That wasn't great. I think he's opened that for yellow, hasn't he?
It was already open, but now blue's hoop, if yellow were to fail, is closer. Richard Bilton just shooting for 6-5 on lawn 2. Quite a few casts. He runs that. So both Fulford and Bilton just ran their hoops. 1-1 on the game we're covering, and 6-5 in Bilton Bamford, or 5-6. This is a really, really quick shot at this time of day. You might be able to see on the camera. Yeah, just around hoop 3 and into corner 3 of this lawn. It's extremely brown, and you can see that that's just kept going, and it's almost 2 yards past the hoop.
Yeah, it's trying to stop a ball on line now, isn't it? It's very difficult.
Yeah, as soon as, and what makes it harder is that it's actually, the gap between 2 and 3 is fairly slow, and then you get to 3 and it's rapid.
So you've got to get across the green stuff.
Yeah, you've got to get there and then
stop on the brown stuff, which is the wrong way around. You want it the other way, if anything.
So Ahmed's, I'm going to call them 2 poor positional shots. Blue might run, black does not run. And Rob's followed him in for what is, well, slightly better than black, but is very close to it.
Ahmed having a look at, he's going to take this on.
I would have thought so. It's a gentle go, and it's done enough to get in the jaws.
Not in the jaws.
I think if red can clear black here, yellow's got an angle to run that hoop. Off blue or on the ground, anything. I think this is going to be red at black.
That came back, that's hard to tell from
here. I think this is going to be red at black and then yellow with something fairly trivial.
The viewers have probably got a better view from Graham's camera on the south boundaries to the angle of that blue.
Bamford's got complete control of 12, so that looks like it's going to be 1-0. That's a great shot from Rob. I think, based off what shot he just played, our suspicions must be correct, and yellow must have something that is 90% almost.
Yeah.
Mr. Bilton has a shot to save from the boundary. We'll keep you updated on that.
Richard has
Ahmed's just
many more casts in this.
Yeah, he started to
measure the tournament, and Bilton clips the back of hoop 12. So this should be
1-0 reg. Yeah,
and by Bamford.
Fulford's just taking on this in off. Ahmed has played in, which suggests that it's not as easy as it might once have been. Okay, that was poor. That hit virtually the middle of blue. Just keep an eye on reg.
Court 2. Reg should convert hoop 12.
Trivial.
That gives him a 1-0 lead in his match with Bilton.
Ahmed's deciding what to do. I'm tempted. I don't like jaws here. I want to be putting a block in between red and black. Yeah, I mean, that's rubbish.
Yeah.
I don't think that runs next time now. Yeah, red's going to clear black, hopefully getting the cut to bring this towards corner 2 and go off the boundary itself, and then yellow's all over blue, even if blue's got a hoop shot.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see a block there and take your chances of no double clearance. Okay, he's just hit that in the centre, but I think with the angle that they've gone off at, that's going to be, I don't think that's going to be moved. But the only concern is now that if Rob needs to move blue, he can't put it to a boundary because Ahmed will be all over the red ball that's just stayed in the lawn.
Yeah.
I would have preferred red to be slightly off the boundary. It looks like Ahmed's going, otherwise he's going to hit red now.
Yeah, I think he's going to hit red. Oh no.
No, he's
coming in.
The correct shot.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a block. Oh, I think Rob's going to be tempted with a double clearance here. It's not easy at all.
Do you think he can get that? I think black looks like it's beyond
beyond
the blue for me for a double clearance.
I think if I think it will just be blue. But if say blue can't run, I think there's no reason not to give it a go. But I think he's just
No,
clearing
he's
blue
he's
in the
shaping to
middle.
clear blue.
But you need to hit this gently, otherwise it's just red. Blue's just all over that red. Yeah, I think this red could be coming towards us in the commentary box. Oh,
Now, how wrong are we?
um,
I thought so too.
I can't believe
Oh,
that.
and that's a poor shot.
That's not Ahmed Nas playing.
No,
That's
a poor shot. He's actually
I,
just nudged yellow and sold blue. So
yellow's tricky, but this is just clear black, and I'm really I can't believe he hasn't taken on that clearance of red. I thought red was going for a walk there. It's very gentle. I don't think that's got a wire.
no, it doesn't look like it.
I'm not convinced that was a great shot either.
No. I've been putting distance on black there, and hoping distance was my friend, even at this level.
Agreed.
And yellow's favourite for the hoop. Now it's a bit more open.
Yep.
So we should probably do a weather report. The wind has dropped. It's absolutely corking day. I'm beginning to regret I didn't put any suntan lotion on.
I think we might have to have
And
we might have to do a commentator's relay to go and get some sun cream. I think.
yeah,
I'm tempted.
as long as you apply your own, don't know.
Yellow's going to try and get in the jaws here, I think.
Oh,
We've had a sun cream delivery.
We've had a sun cream delivery. Which is, if this was television, we would break for a commercial now. So thank you very much to Dawn Good for the supply of
Some blue.
weirdly
sun cream.
rather blue. It's Seaway spray which you put on children. So it's going on the legs of a 61-year-old.
I think I'm going to turn that
And,
down. Yeah, it is blue though. That scares me a bit.
Yeah. But it does come out in a rather tempting spray, Ewan. Depends how brave I am. You're bigger than me.
I'm scared. Back to the action. Rob's failed to get a block there, so this is. I expect this will be hoop, unless the standards at a level where they feel they need to clear these, which I suppose is potentially the outcome. It's hoop, and it's a big inside wire. Drying his hands there, so obviously some issues with grip, which is not surprising. It is getting quite hot out here now. I think he's playing a block here. Unsuccessfully. This hoop is just rapid. It is just rapid. It's a gentle clearance, Ahmed. I think that's a sign of a slight lack of confidence at the moment. The fact that that's not just being nailed. And even when he hit it gently, it didn't hit in the middle, and yellow's still gone 6 yards away. Yeah, red just continues to play in and put the pressure on. Clearances are starting to get slightly longer.
Right, you're passing on the blue stuff. Then.
Oh yeah, yeah. Please.
Thank you very much, Dawn.
Richard Bilton goes 1-0 up in their second game, and that is a really poor positional shot from Ahmed. This is Rob in complete control now. Unfortunately, I think red's probably blocked yellow's hoop, so he's going to have to do something slightly interesting. I think he's probably going to put the block in here. The other option is to rush red into a line where blue can no longer sit because of black, but I think the block's just fairly easy. Oh, I thought it was fairly easy.
And he looks like he's overrun that. If we change
He's got half the ball, maybe. This doesn't. It doesn't.
He's
got a lot of it.
got pretty well the whole ball on that.
Right. Yeah. I don't think that was a good shot at all. Oh, and that
But
is
he's managed to
in.
miss it. I don't know if it did that
It
just
was
skip
bouncing. Well, it didn't skip over the middle. It might have skipped over the
over it.
edge.
Over the edge.
Yeah, and then it almost went into the crowd. So Rob with a 3-foot hoop hoop 3, sorry, to take a 2-1 lead in the second game. Meanwhile, Essex goes 6-5 up in game 2 against Mohammed Karam, whilst 1-0 up. Games. He has a really strong position at hoop 12, so that looks like it could be going 2-0 to Essex. We shall wait and see.
And Mohammed's overrun
Yeah,
his approach to
Ahmed, yeah.
hoop 4.
Yeah, that one
Sorry,
doesn't run.
Mohammed.
Don't think that runs.
No.
And on lawn 6, I think Mohammed now has won the first game. Oh no, no, completely wrong. Sorry, it's 2-0 to Robert Fletcher.
Oh right.
The on the scoreboards they have, there's the little slot for the game scores,
Yes.
and nobody's putting them in the right place.
Yeah.
So I was looking at the game score and going, oh, there's nothing in there.
Yeah. The reason they're putting it in the against the player's name is because the slot is rather too big
Is it too?
for
Okay.
the
Right.
for the insert.
That makes sense.
And they,
So it's 2-0 Fletcher. Apologies for the
These are-
confusion there.
beautiful scoreboards, I believe made by Richard Carline, a club member, who's a dab hand at that sort of thing.
Fulford hits. So one quarter-final is moving a lot faster than the others. 2-0. That's a miss. This is looking dangerously like 3-1 fairly quickly. Yep. 3-1.
So 3-1. And I was saying what a lovely day it is. If any of you are sitting at home and enjoying this, hopefully, but within striking distance of Southwick, you can come along and see this firsthand. There's entry by programme is only £10. Everything going to the host club, who've laid on their facilities for the benefit of these top players and your viewing pleasure. And we've got to thank Southwick for that, because this is the second time in 3 years that they've hosted these championships, and yes, they get rewarded for doing so by the WCF, but it does mean, of course, that their members are prevented from enjoying their own facilities for the 9 days of this tournament. So it's big thanks all round to Southwick, and particularly their organisers and host of volunteers that we've got making all this happen.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's
That was
a
really close to
very good
a hoop.
effort from the boundary.
I'm not
there.
convinced he was going for it. I think he was probably going for blue. But yeah, just back on the club, I think that I've been really impressed with the difficulty of the lawns now. They
Yeah.
started off a little bit slower, but now they're really starting to bake out, and the hoops are really tough. Yeah, some of the toughest conditions I've seen in England in the last few years, for sure.
Indeed.
There's certainly some patches of lawns that can play really tough with firm hoops, and browning lawns, I think we should call them. Browning.
Yeah.
They're getting browner every time we turn up to the club each day. Ahmed completes his 1 yard jump with, didn't look like with ease, but
No,
it was convincing, I think. Didn't look
And
like
he's-
he got comfortable to me.
No, but he's jumped that and not sailed off the back of the
No,
court
yeah,
as usual.
it was
so
a controlled jump,
Yeah.
which are not the easiest thing to do.
some applause there from
Mocha,
Lawn 4.
Mocha equalised to 6-all, they ended up going to 13, and Essex playing the first approach from beside hoop 12, and that looks like it's fairly deep. That's wow.
Yeah, that's
That's 6 yards and angled. Yeah, that's no good. Will we see Karem go off the boundary here? Yep, that's straight off the boundary.
as well. So
I think it's fair to say that Essex wasn't playing to be off the boundary, but that's the way it's gone. Back into the action, 3-2 Fulford. Two slightly poor approaches. The red flicked the yellow on its way to the hoop, which
that sent him over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
um,
Too busy watching Essex over
Yeah.
over my shoulder.
Bamford is 1-all, and yeah, just playing up to 2 now. Essex manages to put a much better ball in second time round. That's 2 yards, slightly angled.
So are we saying that yellow runs this hoop?
No.
It doesn't look like it to me.
No.
It's jaws a ball, but then an easy jump
Yeah,
for blue.
this
So
is-
he's not going to do that.
Well, but no, it doesn't matter. That's just poor.
Yeah.
That's just really poor with black.
Yeah.
Oh,
So is he
he's
taking-
looking at this.
I think he's looking at this because
I think
the
it's just jaws. I
bounty
think
of
it's
this
just
is
jaws.
yeah,
It's just jaws.
just jaws and hoping for the best with the jump.
Yeah.
But he's across here with the red, so even if he concedes this hoop,
This
he's
is
ahead on the scoreboard.
This is
Happy days.
ridiculously difficult hoop. That's not good enough.
No.
Black's all over that. If black's still there, which I expect black to be. This will be interesting. Is red onside?
Red's onside, yeah.
So I don't think we'll
that-
see him take this jump on.
I think that was his thought of putting it there. Make
I
him
suppose-
jump. We move 2 hoops onto the scoreboard,
Yeah.
and Rob's still winning by 2.
He's
Rob
jumped and
still
left
winning by
yellow
1.
there, which is really helpful for. He's going to have to play a good
Yeah,
shot here with
I
the
think
red.
that was what made his mind up because red's on its own here now.
Yeah, well, the key with that jump was to make sure that yellow didn't move, and that was successful.
Yeah.
That looks like it's blocking Blue's hoop shot, which is.
The main aim of the game with that one.
I think it was just position, not leaving a double or anything, so I think it's successful. We could have a ball coming our way here, Chris, so just watch out.
This is Richard Bilton from distance,
Shooting at us.
shooting right at us.
And Akbar Naz is on this lawn as well, shooting at us, so watch
so
out.
we could,
This could hit a camera.
Ahmed's successfully clears the red. Richard Bilton on the other lawn, we're keeping out of the way of that one. That one's going to be a 3.5 chest. He's missed clearing the yellow. You really do have to have eyes in the back of your head here.
So, just a quick update. Matthew Essex has won game 2.
So leads that one
2-0.
2-0.
Oh, that's a poor shot. That is a poor shot, yeah. Some disappointment there in the reaction. Oh,
Bamford goes for an in-off on the adjoining lawn. Successfully clears the blue and
stops an
doesn't
inch in
quite
front.
jaws at hoop 3. Score there 1-1. Bamford leads 1-0 against Bilton.
Robert plays in. Will we see a boundary hoop here? Yeah, I think he's going to be shooting from the hoop here. And it's important. It's critical to get this one. Oh.
That's the outside of the left wire.
Yeah, into corner 4 virtually.
I'm not happy about that one.
No, this is just a stop shot for Robert. Stay in position, and yeah, I'll go as far as saying hoop 7's yours. Oh, this needs to be a good shot though, which it is. Just don't leave a double clearance.
Yeah, that's
Ooh.
possible there, isn't it?
Yeah. Would have preferred that yellow a little bit further away, but he's just constantly putting pressure on Ahmed, and at the moment it's working for him. So he gets the red, clears the red, which is the objective ball for this shot, but then, well, black has got, how far's that, Chris? Almost 30 yards?
Almost 30 yards.
Yeah.
Almost
It's a clear
30
yellow
yards, it's a
from,
clear yellow.
and I mean, red's got an opportunity to block in the first instance. Richard Bilson's jumping from the boundary next to us. Give this some marks if it goes through. Oh, it hit the left-hand wire, so that's 2-1 Reg. 1-0, 2-1.
We might have to take evasive action
yeah,
here as this
we
ball
might have
comes
to get out of the
winging
way.
in. There's Ahmed from the south boundary at real pace. Just misses it and would have taken the teeth of the person in the seat next to us, if there'd been anybody there. So Fulford now from, what's that, 3.5 feet?
Oh. 4-3 it is.
4-3
Things
it
are moving fairly quickly. It's hilled a foot, that red there. It was looking like it would be okay, and it's just hilled to the left, which has made it really tough.
Ahmed playing quite quickly, but
Yeah, this is pretty good.
with very good accuracy.
I think
Crikey, that's a good shot from.
I think Robert needs to have a go at the hoop if he can see any of it. This is, yeah. I mean, anything's good. Blue, black, or the hoop. I'm happy with him.
Mhm.
But I also don't mind leaving blue there to have a go at that hoop next time. The only positive about that is that it's made the angle much trickier for Ahmed to clear this off the boundary and flick to hoop 9.
Well, you've got red to quite a big wiring position there, haven't you?
Yeah.
I think that's what he's going for.
Oh, he's
he's
completely missed it.
completely
He's
screwed
tried-
that. So he's taken that red to the halfway marker. So black's well open.
And it's 2 yards on the lawn as well, so
Yeah,
this is
so
it's a 6-yarder.
He just got that on the wrong side completely,
Yeah,
didn't
and
he?
if Robert
Needed
hits
full-
this slightly on the left-hand side of the ball, it's likely to go wide from blue. Oh, he catches it slightly on the right. A hit's a hit. That's red is on
So it's
in line
still-
with the peg.
Still advantage, Ahmed.
Yep.
But,
Back in the hoop, which didn't
Yeah.
look likely minutes ago.
so you probably can see we lost the sun and the wind has really picked up.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm looking at the cloud we've lost the sun behind. It's about a metre wide, so I don't think we're going to lose the sun for long, unfortunately. I wouldn't mind 20 minutes of...
cool.
I think we're going to get 5.
We probably haven't got the angle, but all the flags behind on the south boundary of this court, so
Doing more
over
than
Rob's
fluttering.
shoulder, they're doing more than fluttering, almost stiff in the wind. Good opportunity to remind you that this is a full World Championships with all the big croquet nations represented, and a few of the emerging nations as well. So how good is your flag recognition there, Ewan?
Very good.
Is it? Yeah, I'm a flags
I
fan.
think I've got every single one of them, if you ask me.
I'll trade you. You go from the left then.
Oh no,
Okay.
come on, we've got a game to watch. The sun's back out now and the wind has dropped.
And the drop, so I'm not thinking you're as confident with your flag
Do you think
recognition.
we can get the one on the far left? I reckon we can probably figure that one out.
We can figure the
I think
far
that's
left.
Wales.
That's Wales. Then we've got the United States.
Sweden.
South Africa.
Portugal.
Then Mexico is the tough one.
Then Ireland.
Finland.
Represented by Helena Janssen.
Some noises off there from Stephen Mulliner. So
yeah.
we've got as far as Finland.
Then we've got the big one, Egypt.
Egypt. Then we've got Belgium, represented by Pierre Baudry. Now then, you're going to get your
yes,
you're going to get them the
that
right way
one's
round.
New Zealand with the red stars.
Yeah, that's right. We've got the WCF flag in the middle, followed by Australia.
And then Canada, a few representatives from Canada.
The next one's
The
next one's wrap round the.
I've got it.
Around the. It's the Czech one, isn't it?
Yeah, the Czech Republic with Miroslav, who is improving with every game he plays this week, which is always nice to see. Germany next. Oh, that is a really good shot.
And then we have Latvia.
And then Norway. And let's just focus on the fact that he's just cleared Robert to the boundary.
Yeah.
And Black's got really close to hoop 9, but unfortunately he's gone a foot behind it, so it might not actually be that helpful. It looks like it's trivial to get wide from that if he needs to in a shot's time.
Yeah.
But he does have a shot first to save the hoop. I'm going to go next with Scotland.
That's Scotland. Then the next one's wrapped around the flagpole as well, but it's Spain.
Switzerland.
And then Uruguay.
And then
second representation by Uruguay, this time by Maria Lamb. She's left the event now, but maybe listening on, looking in. So
I think we got the last one as well.
First appearance, Maria. And
the last one is England.
And the last one is England. Meanwhile,
back in the game. This is interesting now. Oh wow! Oh no! That was he just needed to put pressure on there because Robert doesn't want to run this hoop with Black there. But now Robert doesn't have to run this hoop because he's failed to take position. Meanwhile, on lawn 2, Reg versus Richard is 2-2, and Richard's got a little bit of control. No, yes, Richard's got a little bit of control at hoop 5. Sorry.
Reg is down on the ground having a look at.
Yeah, but that's not the ball to play. It's yellow's to play.
Is it yellow?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. So just having a quick look at what he's got.
Akbed's played in. Now, yellow's got a choice. Does it take on the hoop or does it rush blue to what should be a fairly easy opportunity to get wide from? Red. Oh, this could be interesting. If blue's already wide from red, he can use Black to get in front of hoop 9. The only thing that concerns me here is blue running through the back of the hoop and just nailing into red, which looks like it could be on the cards. If the hoop's set very straight, then there's no way that's not hitting red if it comes through the back here. I think we'll see it. I think we'll see a thrash through the back. There's a few things to think about here. You need to make sure blue's not in the air when it gets through. Oh wow, he's not even tried. He's just put a ball in through. It's pretty good. I think Fulford's got a 1.5 foot jump here. Meanwhile, Reg just hit Stonker on 2, and Richard's shooting to save hoop 5. It's a really high standard of play on lawn 2, in my opinion, from what I've seen. It looks really good. Richard hits
from the corner. There's the ball right in front of hoop 5, so
right.
Keeps that hoop alive.
Let's see. This is a huge.
With his clearing ball. So
this is a huge hoop in the shape of this game. I think this shot, and it's a great shot.
That is.
So that's 5-3 with a ball on the halfway line over towards 9.
No trouble for Fulford with that one.
This is looking really, really strong for Robert here. I think he's just playing better. There's no, that Black's not in front. I don't think you'll be able to see a better angle than us in a second when Graham pans over. But yeah, I just think it comes down to the fact that Robert's executing the shots more consistently.
He is.
Neither of them are completely on the top of their game. I think that's fair to say, but particularly with the game Robert plays, it's much easier to to win whilst playing average.
Yes.
Whereas with
I think
Ahmed, if
You've
if
got
if
to
you
play well if you're going to play
Yep.
in Ahmed's usual style.
exactly, yeah. And if you do play well, you're unplayable.
Yeah.
And
Well, we were having this conversation a while ago, weren't we? That, you know, the positional player
yeah,
can play within himself a little bit,
that's a
but
good-
but very hard to live with the hard clearing player.
Yep.
If the hard clearing player is on form,
yeah, that's the thing.
But-
I think that
it's all difference in
yeah,
choice and style.
yeah,
Noticed a number of times in these championships, maybe it's the conditions, but people playing out of their regular style. We've had
yeah.
positional players having a thrash, and we've had the more hard clearing players trying to play delicately. So I think
Wibbles.
trying to play wibbles.
Yeah, I've had a few
And,
wibbles this week, which is
and they-
out of character.
And yeah, if you don't do them all the time, then if you're not a wibbler, then
Yeah,
learning it at this, or not learning it, but trying it at this stage, at
it's,
this
it's not
championship,
really
is
ideal.
not the
timing, is
ideal.
it?
No. I asked off camera, what's a wibble? A wibble? A wibble is a dribble. A wibble or a dribble?
Yeah,
Dribbling
so
to the hoop.
basically, I think
Yeah.
the accurate description of a wibble would be when you're in front of a three-yard hoop and you're not feeling too confident over it, so it hardly reaches the hoop. It's been made famous by my dad's expert ability at being a wibbler,
A wibbler.
hardly reaching the hoop half the time. But yeah, it's certainly a play style that's favoured when the hoops are tough.
Yeah.
And jaws is often a good result, so that would be a wibble.
What we've got to remember here is that whilst we've got the highest possible calibre of player, we've also got really challenging conditions. I
Yep.
mean, these hoops are set. Everyone makes a big deal out of hoops being set tight, and yeah, that's important. And they are set very tight. They're a good 30-second, maybe tighter still, but
They're in
they're
ground.
in firm ground, and that's far more important than the clearance distance.
It's a game changer.
Yeah,
It's a
people
game
get
changer.
extremely excited about
A 64th, yeah.
tight or otherwise hoops.
You can have a 64th, but if the ground's
That's right.
pansy, then it doesn't do anything
Yeah,
for the
my
standard
own
play.
club at Phillips Court in Henley, we're right on the banks of the Thames, so not surprisingly.
It's very
the ground
green there
is
normally.
Very green,
Mm.
and devil's own job to set challenging
Yeah.
hoops. I have.
Yeah,
And,
on my few visits, it's been quite green, I have to
Yeah.
say. It has
Well,
been
You've had a great time. with us, haven't
October.
you?
I have
You-
enjoyed my
you,
time
uh,
at
You can have
Phillips
a good cork from the boundary, a fair chance of bullying our lovely hoops
yeah,
with a good
yeah.
result.
hmm So, Robert took on a 4-yard jump there, which is certainly not a shot he'd like to be having to play, but he took it on. It just got over blue, but hit the left-hand wire and stuck around. It's maybe 7 yards away from the hoop. It wasn't his best shot, but adequate. And Black failed to get position again. I think that might be the third long-range positional shot in a row that Ahmed's
not made.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not really even close either.
No.
He had 2 goes across this hoop at the start. Both of them were missed, and then this one here.
You kind of think that's surprising. I've not played in Egypt. Maybe one day.
No.
One would have thought that the drier the conditions get, the more that favours the Egyptians for similar to
I
home
think
conditions. But
I think we might have to give some credit back there. I think he might have played a block because Robert had to take on a double clearance, so
Right.
potentially it was actually a very good shot.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
He runs it down for 5-4 to 8-yard position in front of hoop 10.
So yeah, 5-4 to Fulford.
Look around the grounds. Richard and Reg still playing hoop 5.
So they're at 2-all.
1-0 to Essex in the third and 2-1 to Robert Fletcher in the
Yeah,
third.
you got the wrong way around. It's Essex down, isn't it?
The scoreboard says 1-0 to Essex.
Oh, it's the other way around.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah.
are right. Beg your
Graham
pardon.
shooting
Beg
for
your
one.
pardon. It's on the top. Yeah.
Oh dear, that was not a great hoop shot from Crum. Yeah, and then 2-1 to Fletcher on Lawn 6 in the third game. So he's looking pretty handy. That's two really poor shots from Rob. I just want to. We've seen Ahmed play a few poor shots, and I just want to put pressure on everything. And yeah, there's no pressure when both balls are long of the hoop.
No.
He attempted to rush that to a wide position, which is dubious, but handy if you can get it.
Nice if it works, but difficult to execute.
Yeah. Reg has just played a snuggle, so it looks like he's in a good spot. And Ahmed failed to get the wire, and Robert hit it fairly sensible. So we're looking like a fairly even hoop 10 here, really, I think. Mohammed Naz failed hoop 4.
Meanwhile, on court 2, Bilton's had to give up on hoop 5 when Reg smuggled up to him with the red ball, and so Reg has, what's that, a 3 foot?
3-2 lead.
3-2 lead.
Fletcher.
3-2 lead after this shot at hoop 5.
Fletcher has a
Giving him
3-1
this
lead. I'll give him this one. This is 1
Giving him
yard
this one.
straight. He's having this. Yeah.
So he's having that. That's run.
Might get both
very
of them.
nicely
This is
down
close to both. Oh.
Just overruns hoop 6. So Bamford leads 3-2.
We'll try and keep you
And
updated with
one
these other
game-
games as much as
1
possible.
game to love.
Yeah.
Against Bilton.
I think it's important to go around the grounds a little bit and give you a feel of what's going on. Some emotion on 1-2 from Reg, very rare occurrence. Some hand signal.
So Ahmed just pouring on the pressure at this hoop.
Say that, but
He hasn't managed.
2 rotations ago,
That's right.
the pressure was
Was
all
all on
on
him.
Robert. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no pressure at all anywhere
No.
near.
So
Oh, we're going to get a bit of shade
he's
again.
overshot that one, and Robert's got an uncontested hoop shot
Four
here.
and a half yarder. I think it's 4.5 yards with a small angle. You've got to hit a good shot this week to get these through, but it's by no means a
And he is a good shot, and that is.
I think that's an understatement, Chris.
Yeah, that is 6-4 to Fulford.
This is looking like a really strong performance here from Rob. Just playing his game, hitting lots of good shots, and waiting for Ahmed to hit bad ones.
Yeah,
That's a great one from Ahmed, I think.
Good first ball from Ahmed.
I think we're going to see 2 clearances at that. That's really good. Well, yeah, I think
No,
that
Fulford's,
oh, no.
he's just positioning, so he's
confident.
confident with his
Yep.
yellow ball. At what's that going to be, about
11.
8 yards? Is it?
Oh.
8-9 yards.
I think it's nearly 10. I said 11, but yeah, I think that's really
If
important.
Ahmed doesn't get the block, which he might
That
very
looks
well have
good.
done, that
And
looks.
this might have to. I think if he can see any of blue, though, it's the angle that gets in and off. So that could be really.
Yeah,
exciting.
I think Black's overrun by a ball.
think it's-
balling a bit, maybe.
Oh, I think he's got heart. I don't think Robert can hit the right hand side of blue here.
But as you say, he's got the in off if he does it.
Yeah.
If he does it, hit blue. This could be
The winning shot.
the winning shot
potentially.
for this game.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Robert all week. He just continues to chip away at everybody. And when you're playing somebody who hits the ball quite like Ahmed does, you wait for them to play bad shots and make sure you're there to capitalise, because they will play enough bad shots. And I think
And-
he's also of the mindset that if Ahmed plays well, he might beat him, which is fair enough. And you can live with that if the opponent plays well, but it's when you don't play the right style of play and you lose is when you're disappointed.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to be 6-5 though.
So he's Ahmed's block did enough.
Yep.
Caused Robert to clear the wrong ball.
6-5.
And this should be 6-5 to Ahmed, and it is. But he he won't be that happy with
No,
that.
that will be really poor.
He's got
It's a huge wide spot behind that peg there.
yeah.
So we've got 6-4 here, 4-2 to Bamford, 2-0 to Essex, and 3-2. Oh, yeah, 3-2 to Robert Fletcher. Are the 3 scores in their games?
And that's a run of
It's not wide from blue though.
It's not wide from blue. Blue's got a hoop
Blue's-
hoop
blue's-
shot and possibly
blue's
blue.
all
Blue
over-
strike,
all-
red clear double.
Yellow's all over blue.
Over that.
Yellow can do whatever it likes with blue here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing, if this doesn't get in front, I don't mind seeing yellow into corner 4. Sorry, blue into corner 4. Yeah, I want blue into corner 4 here. It's not what Robert's going to be doing, but
No,
he's just going to put
he's
some more
leading, right?
pressure on. Is this going to be a block, I think? Make sure you get in front, but you're happy with a block here. And I think we're going to see Ahmed have a big wild
a big
thrash
wild
at something.
go, 'cause
Yeah,
he's red or the hoop is good.
yeah, that'll be Robert trying to block the hoop with that one, I think. You've got a better angle than us. You might be able to tell us in the comments section. If he had a go at this hoop, this is a huge shot in the context of this match, and he hits red.
So good result.
I think if I'm Robert, I'm playing in here. You give Ahmed that, especially when if he runs it, his first approach to hoop 13 is going to be from the far boundary. I think this is just position.
Yeah.
Force him to try and run it. And if he does, fair enough. But this will be the hardest hoop we've seen him run if he does run it.
That's right. He's got a good angle there, or a tough angle, I should say.
Yeah, yeah.
This will be a good shot if he gets this.
It will
with
be a
the
great
black.
shot.
So, where's Rob going to put this to make any effort? We're pretty confident that Ahmed's going to take the shot on. So what's the value of red? He's just put a red in.
Yeah, I like that, and it's slightly closer towards hoop 13 as well, so it's not tangled up on its way to 13 if it needs to. And you see, look, this is not.
He hasn't marched up to
you're
that
not,
with
yeah,
I am
this is
going
not
to take on
confident,
this
yeah.
hoop and I'm going to boss the hoop.
I think he eventually is going to have to end up taking on. Yeah, he gives it a tap. He has
Yeah.
to take it on, but there was no confidence there at all.
No, he didn't want to have to do this.
No,
This is a shot he doesn't want to have to make, and if he gets it, he's second to.
The only thing I'm concerned about for
Second
Rob's
13.
sake is that yellow and red might be blocking each other to 13. They look in the vicinity of each other, which is concerning. But Ahmed's got to run this, and it's tough. Yep, no chance. He didn't like it from moment one.
No.
I don't think.
He didn't take enough over that, did he?
He never takes enough
He's always
time over
very
anything.
Very
But
quick,
that,
isn't he?
I don't think he was not confident on that. And he's walking into the clubhouse. I think he's resigned to
Resigned
2-0 here really. This is 1 yard straight for Rob. I think he's run a few of these in his time.
And
Yep.
there it is.
Easy as you like. Really
Round of
impressive
applause.
performance.
Acknowledged.
Really impressive.
Acknowledges the crowd
2-0.
and 2-0. Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
So I suspect we're having a break here now on our
Minor
featured
interval,
court.
yeah. Yes.
Ahmed's off to the.
Meanwhile,
Changing rooms.
a last update. 5-2 to Bamford. 2-1 Essex. And 3-2 to Fletcher, but with control at hoop 6. I think we're going to get some commentary on Bamford versus Bilton.
And we have the rare spectacle of referee Francis Coleman actually running. The lady does not usually run, and she's been beckoned over to the court right behind us,
I am going to.
armed with a hammer.
I don't think she needs it. I think she's.
Oh, no, she
if it's through the hoop.
Oh, it's a second opinion from another referee. Is the ball through the hoop or not? And of course, we've got this this new ruling that.
Reg hits another shot. He's in a really good spot here. I'm going to desert you for 15 seconds to put some sun cream on my thighs.
Okay, that sounds a good plan. I was just mentioning we got the new ruling here that if a ball is close enough to be for the judgment of whether it's through the hoop or not, then it's through. The benefit of the doubt to the scoring ball, you might say. So maybe you can see this going on in the background from our camera that was covering court 1. This is a rare sight of 2 referees on court 5, and this is a what's it going to be, a bowl game or a plate game between Stuart M. Smith, who's been given the score in his bowl or shield game against Dominic Nuns. And it's good to see players continuing on in the in the tournament, even when they've been knocked out of the main events. We have bowl events, which I believe are a bowl event for those players eliminated in the first round of the main knockout, and also a shield event for those eliminated in the second round. So still lots to play for players to get over their disappointment of their elimination from the main event. As with all consolation events in croquet, it's an amateur sport, and consolation events are discretionary. But at something like the World Championships, we do get a pretty good take-up of people continuing on in the event, which is good to see. So while we've taken a rest from our main featured match, we've got Jack Good jogging over to see us. So he's not come to see us, he's come to see his mum. Well, it's not his mum. We've got a different production lady. Dawn has given way to Alison Morm. So looking around the courts, Bamford leads Bilton by 6 hoops to 2 and 1 game to 0 on court 2 beside me. Then over my shoulder we have Mo Karem and Matthew Essick. They're at 2-all. In this third game, as Mo Karem needs to win this to stay in the main event, and that's a pretty good way to start it. He's cleared black from what must have been 25 yards. Mo Karem is at 2-all with Matthew Essick, but Essick has a 2-0 lead. And then the one I can't quite see is Robert Fletcher and Mohammed. That's at 5-2 to Rob Fletcher, and that is also in the third game, with Fletcher having a 2-0 lead. And newly sun-creamed,
I come bearing news.
Rejoined by Ewan Burridge.
Our show game is not resuming until 1 o'clock. They're having a lunch break until 1 o'clock.
Having lunch till 1 o'clock.
Yep. So we're going to pick up some permanent coverage of. It appears that our cameraman has just misinterpreted the wonderful Alison Morm's signals. Yeah, he needs to stay on lawn 2 and keep covering this game.
So this is
Richard running hoop 9 for 6-3. Must run.
the multicasting of the Biltonator.
This is a lot of casts. Oh, and it's I think red's all over that, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not got it in the jaws. Had a good rattle.
Look at the other games.
But
oh, wow. It's 5-2 to Fletcher in the third game. That is going to be over fast at this rate.
Right.
With a shot for 6-2.
So our commentary position is different to that of our cameras. So trying to see over in the shadows underneath the trees, where the Graham has now pointed the main camera to the Bamford built-in game, but we've got a smaller camera on that one anyway. And so to orientate you, players are now contesting hoop 7. So that was a control clearance by Bamford, dispatching Bilton's blue over to the west boundary, whilst maintaining close position at hoop 7. So Bilton in lots of trouble here. He's game down and 6-2 down, and very much second favourite for hoop 7. So this could be a 2-0 lead to Bamford in not very long time.
In other news, it's 6-2 to Robert Fletcher in the third game, and Mohammed Naz has failed to take position with either ball, so this could be over rapidly.
So we're now looking at
Robert
Bilton-
Fletcher has a
Bilton's-
hoop shot to win the first quarter final from 4 yards straight with no pressure. We'll keep you updated on this. I think Alison's going to try and get it in the small screen. Here we are. I believe he's just been running these for fun so far. One more shot for the semi-final. Yep,
that's it.
that's that. That
So,
was a very fast match, I think it's fair to say.
Our first semi-finalist known then.
7-3, 7-6, 7-2. The scores there,
So
as long as the scoreboard's correct, which I don't think you can always trust, considering the scoreboard on this lawn says that game 1 score was 7-4, when I know for a fact that it was 7-5.
right, yes, that's true.
I'm sure it was 7-5. It's been 7-5, 7-5, hasn't it?
I think so. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? It wasn't 7-4 because
Yeah, Robert had control at it.
and he fluffed hoop 11, didn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah.
Um,
So he took an extra hoop to win.
and then resuming our coverage of this game, I think we've lost Richard Bilton. Oh no, he was hidden behind the huge gaping figure of Reg. He looks resigned.
I really hope that Reg doesn't hear that in the replay. Do you think Reg watches his? Do you think Reg watches his games back? Reg, do you watch the recordings?
I can almost guarantee you he doesn't.
You
Considering he doesn't watch any croquet whilst he's at the croquet tournament,
you don't
I
think
reckon he probably
reviews-
doesn't watch his
you don't
footage.
think
No,
he's a reviewer of his own performance.
no.
You don't think he is?
He did tell me the other day though that if he does go and watch some of his better games over the years to get some motivation.
Okay.
To put him to sleep at night, which is one way of going to sleep, but if that's what helps him out. I've just looked at the sky, we're not going to get much cloud.
No camera. It's just died.
Yeah,
And showing any. So can you just apologise?
yeah.
Okay.
We'll get them back.
I'll go and have,
Mhm.
I'll run down and have a word with Craig.
Don't worry, I'll go. You're better at talking.
So unfortunately for a few minutes we've got some technical difficulties. The camera's gone on the small camera and our cameraman is a bit confused.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we've just managed to. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on because it looks as though he's filming, but technology wizard appears to think we've got no working cameras, which is annoying for the spectators.
So we've got family good on
Yeah,
the.
everybody's chipping in whilst
chipping
Jack.
in. So Alison Morm has run round to see our cameraman Graham, and Dawn in the meantime is talking to husband Graham, and for good measure, player Jack Good is in the conflab as well. So until Alison comes back, I can't tell you whether we have any pictures. So forgive us if this is commentary only. And let's hope at least you've got some commentary. Otherwise,
I think there's
we are
some
wasting
commentary. I think
we
there's
are
commentary.
wasting our time.
We're also wasting our sun cream.
So on the we'll have to do a bit of radio commentary and assume you can't see
Here we
anything
are,
until
yeah.
we're told you can. And we've got Bamford's yellow ball in the not quite in the jaws of hoop 7. He
And
leads 6-2 in the second game and 1 game to love ahead of Bilton. Who's
and Richard's got 2 in front, but I believe that it's just a compulsory 2 goes because I don't think red can see black. So I think he's just got 2 goes at this. One's 3 yards, one's 2.5 yard jump. And yeah,
and
it's-
yellow's not right in the jaws
no,
anyway,
so I don't think there's much risk of peeling it unless you don't get it up, which will be really. It would be a poor shot not to get this high enough.
Yeah.
If you're going to mess this one up, it needs to be coming off a wire, not reaching. I think
So Bilton's jump then.
he's having his first go. Alton's now running back round, so we might have some more information. First jump.
Built into his multi-casting. Probably about 10 of these.
Could be more than 10.
There it is.
Oh, it
He's
misses
got it
the
up
hoop
and missed it.
completely. Mm. Oh, commentator almost falls over on his way back to the box.
That's an interesting one, isn't it? So we're not actually in a box. are we?
No, I wish we were in a box, to be honest.
Typically, commentators are in a box. We're not. Yet we're still in a commentary
Booth.
booth. We're not even in a
Ooh.
booth. We're in a commentary open air.
Mr. Dominic Nuns
go.
behind me runs a 20-yard hoop.
So
They're always
find out
handy.
now that
Oh,
actually
wow,
Reg could see
okay.
black.
This is
that's
a
a good
game. This is a
clearance.
boundary jump for
Yeah.
to save. Interesting that from 3 yards, Richard chose to take the clip off. He's not taking it off here. That says to me that a lack of belief, personally.
Yeah.
If you were willing to take it off from 2 or 3 yards,
when you think you're going to be able to do it,
you
but
should
you
be
don't
taking
you
it.
can't be bothered to take it off.
From 7 yards because you think
7.
it's so unlikely it's going to be successful. I think that's just.
And of course, we have a rule change in the last couple of years. The used to be that if a ball collided with a clip, then
It would be a fault.
then it would be a fault.
Was it a
I
fault,
don't think it was a
or-
fault. I think it was just that the jump shot didn't, or the scoring shot didn't count. Whereas
Okay.
now,
Yeah,
and,
that came.
yeah,
That was really poor.
it didn't get onto that one at all. So wide and short the first bounce. So Bamford has a tap in now for 7-2 and a 2-0 lead. They may well also stop for lunch. We'll find out. I was just saying about the clips. The rule change 2 or 3 years ago. You now don't have to take the clip off for a jump shot, and if a clip comes off as a result of your stroke, your scoring, hopefully your scoring shot, still counts.
I expect they'll be having lunch as well.
So that's the end of that game. So we'll try and, I think, move the cameras round to another live game. We've only got interesting to see whether they decide Bilton and Bamford decide to have lunch or play the third game. One you'd think they'd stop for lunch, but you never know. They might be into the groove. We'll wait and find out. Reminding you that the Robert Fulford Ahmed Nazar game is suspended after the second. They've gone for lunch, and Fulford has a 2-0 lead in that one. So going around the courts, we have Fulford at 2-0 over Ahmed Nazar. We have Bamford at 2-0 over Bilton. We have Mohammed Nazar having gone out of the competition in straight games 3-0 to Robert Fletcher in the only quarter-final that's been completed. And the only actual live quarter-final still in progress is Matthew Essick against Mo Karem, where the score of the current third game is 2-2, with Essick holding a commanding 2-0 lead in the match.
Continuing on here. They're putting clips back on their pockets, which
Oh,
suggests
great.
to me that they're going
That's
to play
good.
the third game.
We've got some live coverage without moving
Yes.
the cameras, so we're going to stick with Bilton and Bamford. Bilton now not with any lives left. He's 2-0 down. Needs to win the next 3 games. So, not the best position to be in.
Certainly when you're playing
against a double world champ.
The writing's on the wall, I believe they say. He's going to have to pull something quite special out the bag here, but we won't write him off just yet. 3-2 to Mo Karem. Oh no, sorry, that hasn't gone through. I thought that had gone through by an inch. It's actually failed to go through.
Yeah, they're still 2-2,
But he is in
he's
complete control.
making hard work of Heap 5 over there. So got a slightly different angle now. Our cameraman Graham,
With his helpers?
with the assistance of wife Dawn and and star player
Jack.
son Jack has now repositioned pretty well centre on the south boundary.
And Richard's first shot on the lawn is only okay. Reg's next shot is poor. That's blue's just all over that, which if Richard can get a good ball in with black here, this is
Got the pace.
yeah, that's okay, I think.
Don't think it's got much
Oh,
more than blue.
dear.
So that's three.
That's okay. It's in
Three
front.
okay only shots, isn't it?
Yep. Hopefully this I think it's two okay shots and one poor one with red. Red shouldn't be there. I think once blue doesn't get good position, the first thing to do is not leave it in lawn clearance, particularly one that can stop in front of the hoop with as well.
So we're just waiting for a thumbs up from Alison. Have we got both cameras in operation now?
Sorry, I've got it.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we've only got our subsidiary camera, which is from our commentary position. So orientating you from this. Sorry, I should be talking to the mic. Yeah. So we're now in
Corner
your
3.
view, and our commentary position is corner 3 on this course.
Richard's taking this hoop on, which is, well, I suppose it's okay. Yeah, it's fine now because red can only clear back to the corner. Yeah, okay. I don't mind this at all. It was not successful.
Quite a long way off. Any better zoom than that? We're trying to